house!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right. Got my little bow-looking thing again. It's not actually a bow, but somehow it looks like one. But yeah, you guys, apparently we're going to change topics tonight and talk about pirate shipping and how we can just go back and forth for 10 minutes about how the United States Postal Service will actually pick up your pirate shipping packages. Okay, now let's talk about that. Now, so when you make the Jesus, what a man, what an incredible bore. Let's see. You know, there was actually today there was a like these random shootings in Austin. It's kind of interesting. So maybe after we do all this at the end, we can. Well, I'll tell you what. If we make the goal tonight, we'll go through that and do the press conferences and stuff. If we don't, then no. All right, awesome. Hey, thanks, Cheryl Bullock, right out of the gate. Yep, Steve's lore likes the intro. All right, very cool. I know you didn't say it, but you just kept going back and forth about it, and I just was like, come on, I mean, I don't want to keep talking about shipping. I mean, what a... Man, I got other stuff to do. I just merely told you that I shipped your packages on pirate shipping, and I have two addresses for you, your home address and the P.O. box, and I should have sent it to your home one since you haven't been to your P.O. box in like 9 years. So, all right, there you go. And then it led into this big thing about how the Postal Service will pick it up. And I'm like, oh, who cares? What does that have to do with anything? All right, anyways, tonight we're going to talk about the, I spent quite a bit of time today looking around trying to find what might be the item in his pocket. Now, I know we had a show a long time ago. We go over lots of different stuff in different shows, and we talked about, what was in his pocket. And I mean the thing that's sticking out right there, this object. It's kind of an interesting deal. How it sort of, it makes sense how that works, because notice when you're looking at this item right there, it's right there, and then the jacket goes down, so you got to picture. So since you can see, almost like right there, if you went like, I wonder if I could put something on the screen. Hey, I could do it over here. What if I went like this? Not that. How about right at the top of that thing? Right there, and then right there is the jacket. And then let's see, so it's right there, and then it goes down. I don't know if that was a good way to do it. I think you'd have to have it move. But it seems like it goes down similarly, but it also sort of pokes back out. So there's definitely something in there. Beginning of the intro, do the screen spin. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Sandy. There's no screen spinning. It's just... Let's see. Oh, you mean your clocking. That's what you're saying. Yeah, and so I think that's a cylinder shape, right? Looks like the antenna of either a walkie-talkie, a I guess you could say like a police scanner maybe. Or, I mean, there's other things. I actually found something else that was sort of interesting, which was kind of cool. So maybe we'll just kind of go through, like this thing right here that this lady had. Yeah, I think this is a scanner, but look how similar that looks to that kind of the look of that. I guess we have to go right there. Well, it's hard. Right there is about the best you're going to get on it. You know, could that be something? But then how does it get way down here? So the problem I have with this, hey, thanks so much there, Shadna Wise. Is that how you say it? Or Shadna? Or is it Shadna? You guys are always trying to trip me up. Hey, thank you. Maybe you can give me the phonetic pronunciation there. Yeah, one of the things issue I have though is like here's the pocket, right? So the shape of this, it seems like it would have to sort of end there, the other portion, right? So then would it be? I mean, because there's the bottom of it, and there's things I was noticing today a lot. Like notice right there, he's got his hand sort of cupped underneath that, you know, curled. It looks like he's literally like when he's right here, we don't get to see, there's two frames missing. It's almost like he's sort of cupping the object inside of the pocket. And, you know, he could be doing that. It just sort of looks like that, like right there. But it could just be that he's, you know, moving his hand around. I don't know. And so that's one of the issues that I have is that, you know, the antenna is sort of long. I mean, it's weird. Here's what's odd. See how high the antenna is right there? You can literally see it sticking out. And then just like one frame later, you can see the bottom. I guess that's kind of what I want. I guess if I went like, so I can still see the top of that. And then this is like the bottom of the pocket zipper. Yeah, that kind of, I guess that makes sense. You know, if I was able to, would it be about the same? Let me see if I go to there and here. Yeah, so that looks like it's maintained its height. It's odd the way his arm moves around. So that looks pretty, so that's interesting, right? That means that like the square part of like a scanner or something would be right there. So the shape you're looking for is a little bit more condensed, although a pretty long antenna on it. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Maribel. Let's see. So we got the. I can't get past the beginning. All right, so let's take a look at some of these ones that I looked at. I was looking at all these different things. So I have many. Well, I also looked at, try to find the gun holster. And I'm not sure what color that is, because that actually could be like dark, and it's got some reflective value on it. Yeah, I don't think he would have it folded the way he has it. There's no way he would do it that way. It doesn't make any sense. I'll tell you an item that I found that I thought was really interesting. And it's this one right here. And you can, this part here is just for detecting magnets. So you take that off, but look how close, look at that. Man, that's crazy looking. And you know what this is? It actually detects camera infrared. I was like, what is this thing? And it's amazing. At some point, I guess you have to look. You can look through here to see infrared light on a camera or something. And this one detects. It's not a scanner or it's not a police scanner or a walkie-talkie or anything like that. It's a camera detector. It literally detects cameras, RF signal scanner, and GPS tracker finder. Portable anti-spy detective for, I mean, I don't know. I'm just looking at it. I found it and I was like, man, that has sort of a similar look. I mean, could he have been using it to detect whenever there were cameras, or I don't know. It was just something I stumbled upon. It wasn't one of the ones I was expecting to find. Okay, I've just got to put these things in a different folder here. All right. And like this, I only looked for the ones that looked similar. There's no taper on that. And see that? This looks good. You know, these are cheap radios. You know, this guy doesn't seem like he spent a lot of money on stuff. Now, if this is a walkie-talkie, I think that's what this is right here. And, you know, that's what we were talking about last night, is if the suspect has a walkie-talkie on him, then the likelihood of there being another person goes up dramatically, that there is somebody in a car. If it's not a walkie-talkie, then, you know, we're still back to where we were, where, you know, if this is a police scanner. Now, it's interesting. I think it's either a police scanner or a walkie-talkie. That's what I think. But that looks really close to me, like something like that. You know, but and it's hard to get scale correctly. Like, I don't know what, you know, if I threw this in the scene, how big would it be? But see, I guess the problem I have with it is the antenna is too long on this, because, you know, you just based on the scale of that and this, the end of the antenna would be like right around in this area, and then all of a sudden, where's the radio part of it? You know what I mean? So you need one that's a little shorter, I guess. But hey guys, if you could help support the channel tonight, like Shadden up there, that would be awesome. And there's one that was on eBay, Motorola. That one also has that same, and this is a two-way radio walkie-talkie with battery. And yeah, I mean, you can take these antennas off. I just don't think that's what you would, you know, there's no way in hell you're going to a crime and then you take the antenna off and then right in the middle, oh, wait, hold on, let me screw this on. Yeah, there's no way. You just have it on and you're about ready to use it. Okay. And this is, now this one's interesting, right? Because this is the Uniden Bearcat handheld scanner. See that? And that one has something similar, and it does taper, but maybe we're only seeing that part. But at the same time, again, just looking at this and knowing that the antenna is actually longer than the radio portion, you know, the square portion. I don't know what you want to call that part. I guess the actual receiver part. It's shorter than that, right? So then that means you would take that, and the maximum it could be is right there, but it's not. It's way, you know, we're talking about like if the antenna it goes into the pocket, and then the bottom of this radio would be sticking out down here somewhere. You know, but it's possible there's something going on where, I don't know, he's not going to cut a hole in his jacket so that it can go into a pocket, you know. So it's pretty weird. Hey, thank you. Brand grass brake tool. What's that? Hey, thanks, the Tilesmith. Oh, really? Let me look that up. I guess we hadn't really thought of anything like that. I mean, I guess it's possible that it isn't a radio of any kind. Let's take a look at what they just typed in there. And then that would just mean lone wolf again. I don't know. I don't see any of that rough edges there. You'd be able to see it. Even though it's not crystal clear, you'd be able to see it right there. But not a bad idea. Do you have a version that's nice and smooth all the way down? See if you can find one that's smooth all the way down. We'll take a look at it. And here's another. These are like Walmart things. This Uniden SR30C channel compact handheld scanner. See, that's what this is, a scanner. You know, I tried looking around to find brands that had like a shorter antenna, but they have to be kind of thick and cylindrical. Yeah, Jesus. Let's see. Okay, so we got that in there, and then not too many more samples that I had. But like that, to me, right here, I think this, yeah, right there is a good example of one that could be, because the size of that. See how the receiver unit is actually a little bit, almost the same length of the antenna. This is a mini dual band walkie-talkie. So this one right here is a walkie-talkie. And notice how it doesn't taper other than just right at the base where it screws in, but it's nice and keeps the same cylindrical shape as it goes up. See that? And you look at that, and you look at that. I mean, something like that maybe. But I just don't know if there's a way for us to say that it is a scanner or a walkie-talkie. You know, like, you know, you can theorize on either one of them. But I don't think it's a jammer. That was such an overplayed. As soon as a certain few, you know, quote experts started saying it was a jammer, I just went, yeah, forget it. Yeah, it's just the whole jammer thing doesn't even make sense. Well, if you used a jammer, then why the hell would you even remove the camera? You know? Like, if you had a jammer, you just go in, you know, you would assume that it wasn't working. That's what they're for. You don't bring a jammer and then break the camera off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know it's not a jammer. We know that, the Tilesmith. I'm just throwing it out there that that's what they said. So it's either a walkie-talkie or a scanner, or I guess it could be some other sort of device. Yeah, so here's the the house, and I guess what you look at is the if it's a walkie-talkie, then that means it's really likely that another person was in a vehicle, and then they're the one that drove around and parked. But it also opens up the opportunity that he isn't even the one that went in. I mean, the lone wolf theory makes it more because it could be that he has the car, but he does have a backpack filled with stuff in it, and obviously the stuff that he has in the backpack was going to be used inside the house, and it was filled up the backpack. It wasn't like he went in there to take something out. It looks like other than Nancy, but the stuff that's in the backpack was in there to help do what he was doing, meaning abduct Nancy Guthrie. Yeah, so if it's a walkie-talkie, it's most likely that he would be the one that went into the house. And then maybe, I guess at that point you could even say that two people went into the house. Maybe one went to the front door after the first guy went in. He opens the front door, they go in, and then they bring Nancy out. One of them, it's just sort of, I don't know. I just think one person went in the house. It's just one of these things. I think if there is another person, it's most likely somebody just had a car and then they pulled it up and then just helped get her into the vehicle. That's it. No, it can't just be the antenna. Right. I just said that a minute ago. No, I don't. It cannot. I mean, I think that's absolutely incredibly unreasonable to say that. That he would take the time to screw the antenna in. So no, Karen, you're incorrect. Yeah, there's no way in hell that somebody has the antenna unscrewed and then on the scene has to fumble around, get the antenna, and then screw it into the receiver. All right. Okay, I don't think that makes any sense at all. So when you say could it be, I have to say sure, it's possible. It's just 1 in a million. Now there isn't any criminal that would be that stupid that you could be fumbling around. Oh, where'd my antenna go? And then you don't have, it's just you're gonna have it connected. It's not hard to carry around. They're small. You just put it in your pocket. There's no reason, let's put it that way, to have unscrewed it from the receiver part. And then I guess if it's a, what do you call it? If it's the scanner, then yeah, I mean, that opens the door for just him, where after he, this is something we've talked about before too, but like after he scanned, or not scanned, but after he broke the camera off at 147, he could just be in the area, checking, and we said this before, to see if any lights turned on, anything like that in the house, and then, he can just work on his own, and then he's still right in the area here with the backpack. Then he goes into the house at 2:12-ish after waiting to make sure, no lights turned on and no cops showed up. And then they go over, and at 2:12, around that time, they would enter the home. And then perhaps what's in the backpack is what allowed him to maybe tie up Nancy Guthrie. And then at that point, he's listening, gets out the scanner again, listens to it. Nah, there's nothing around. So then he goes and gets the vehicle, drives it into the driveway, parks it, and then because he either went out the front door or he opened up that side gate, propped it open, and then after he parked the car, he went around the back and went in, got Nancy, went out the front door, put her into the trunk, and drove away. What's going on? Sandy, you did it again, man. You delete and hide people so often, it's almost weird. Karen was hidden by Sandy. Karen was unhidden by Paulette. Karen was unhidden by Lisa. Yeah, we fixed it. I'm just not sure why you have that happen to you a lot. Well, anyways, you guys don't really seem too interested in this topic, so do you want me to get on to something else? Because I'm looking, and we're having very few people commenting. We've only got 145 people here again. Very little support for the channel. It just feels like we're in a dead zone again. That's because they unhid you, Karen. That's why it didn't phase you. Yeah, that's what I'd rather do too. I think I'll switch topics. There's just one from today, Karen. Here we go. There's like today there was a bunch of just 3 different people just went around and started shooting people randomly at different places in like a 12-hour period. Yeah, random shootings. There was nothing, totally in cold blood. Yeah, I just think it's one person. Yeah, so we got walkie-talkie. Again, I can't even see it. Oh, there it is. So 37% think it's something else. What the hell else would it be other than those 2 things? I guess it could be like the end of a hammer. I mean, I don't know, man. It's definitely not an antenna just loose in a pocket, I can tell you that. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but just think through it for a second. You're in the middle of the night, you're at a location, you're preparing to go in, and let's say, why wouldn't you put the antenna on the receiver? I'm kind of shocked that there's like 30. Well, for the people that are saying something else, what is it? Okay, you seem so certain. I'm showing you these pictures of scanners and and walkie-talkies that are absolutely, like that's what it looks like. And then I also did, before I do something else, I guess you guys aren't really interested. We've got this, this holster here. There's some of the shots I was looking at were like right in here. Maybe not that one. Yeah, like that's pretty clear. See, what I think is he's got the gun in the holster. This strap right here is meant to put up there and keep the gun in, but he's already taken the strap off for easy removal. Yeah, I looked up if there's any police scanners and walkie-talkie combos, and I guess, I don't know, it didn't seem like they really, they have something, but you're not able to transmit on, I don't know. Yeah, I looked that up though. I didn't see any. Why don't you look it up yourself there, Karen? Wow, 4 miles, that's a long ways. Jeez. Thank God, huh? Thank God you live 4 miles away. Whew. Wow. Imagine if you lived like a block or two. That'd be wild. All right, let's take a look at the Cobra. Oh yeah, I was holding that up because that's just shows the size, but yeah, I saw those. I saw those walkie-talkies, and there's a reason I didn't put them in there. Yeah, I've already saw all those. The antennas are too short. Yeah, so look at the ones that she's talking about, and I already ruled these out, are these right here, these types. You know, Jesus, man. See how that's just way too short and stubby right there, and it's not the same shape. This has like a flat top. These are curved. Yeah. See, I went around and just tried to find the ones with specific criteria. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. This one? I don't know. See, those are short. There's not enough room for that one to be in there. I know everybody has their. I specifically look for certain types. And you know, if the antenna, like this one here, isn't too bad. Let me look. This, I mean, that one, see, something like that. See, that one looks really good. I mean, you know, you look at that and you say, I think I already had that one. That's one I showed you earlier. But you know, Baofeng, a mini dual set, 5W Bluetooth. In there, you know, 50 something bucks, and maybe, but see how you have the length of that isn't that long, and this seems like that's probably pretty small and fits right in your pocket, you know, but that length is about what you would think you're looking at right there, except, you know, interestingly, see how flat the top of that thing is. It's weird how you can only see it for just a couple of frames, like a second. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like it kind of could be getting a little bigger there. Maybe, I mean, I guess it could be one of those walkie-talkies that you guys, you know, the shorter length, if you think about it, like that's actually inside the pocket, right? So the actual receiver part could be in there. It's just that one shot where it's way up in the air on that one. It's just kind of odd how it got so high up into there, but it could just be the angle that was shot at. Yeah, everybody tried, Karen. Everybody tried. It's just it's not shadowing. It's just shine, like specular value. Like, you know, in 3D Studio Max, you can assign an object's the shine that it just has, like that. And that's how you can tell something's a cylinder. And that's, see, you can see it right there. It's just because it's shiny, like an antenna is. Yeah, you keep saying the same thing over and over, Karen. I'm just trying to do the show. Yeah, so right there, see how it's kind of shiny right there? And then it's just so weird because, like, up here, look how it's wiggling around and it's high up. See, that's what I was saying. See, this hand here almost seems to be holding up the walkie-talkie underneath the jacket and making it higher than it should be, as if it was just allowed to relax and fall into the pocket like it seems to do. Like, and then there it is. See? And then it starts, you can see more shine right there. Probably got a shadow on it right in this time frame, or it's not. Could be known. Yeah, it's just we can't know it. That's the thing. I mean, we do have. Let's see. I mean, it could just be, maybe it is the shorter antenna. Now that I look at it again, so like if you just go right there and then say that that's the opening of the pocket, then maybe the antenna really only goes to right in this area, and then it looks like it maybe has a slight taper, and then maybe the radio is inside there. It's not. What are you guys talking about? Just, do you see the bulge in the pocket? No, there isn't. I'm like, yeah. I just think right here, it could be that it's right there. And then that probably puts it more in the walkie-talkie range. Believe it or not, you know. So what I typed in earlier is Walmart walkie-talkie, because I think you got everything at Walmart. And so you got and he's just going to spend, I bet he spent less than $100 on everything that he was wearing. But hey guys, any chance you could help support the channel tonight? We could use some channel memberships. You know, those are good things, or a challenge of some sort. You know, get the ball rolling here. We've got a really slow start, so it's going to make it difficult. We are currently at 1/6 of the nightly goal. Yeah, so I guess not eBay. Let me get rid of that. So he goes in there and he's gonna probably spend $30. Yeah, he's not gonna spend much money, but it's not. It's got to be cylindrical. See, so some of these that you get, see how that's not? Those are square. See that? Kind of a more of a cubical shape. And again, those ones are square too, so that's not going to be it. So, you know, you have ones like this, however, that are cylindrical, see? And so, you know what? Maybe we'll take one of these. Can I? Let's just do that one. And see what happens if I take that. Grab it. And we'll just put it in the scene and see if it makes sense. See, I tried something like that earlier with that one, but that doesn't, look how long that antenna is. Save a copy. Nancy Guthrie, 17. Okay. You know, we could really try to do this in a way that we could almost prove something. Visually, you know, it doesn't have to, you know, but we could do it. Let me try something else in a minute, but I'm going to do this first. But come on, you guys, we need a challenge by somebody. And if you're wondering why, we try to raise funds on the channel to help support the channel. And we also donate thousands of dollars every single month. And the only way to do that is when you guys are supporting the channel. If you're not supporting, we aren't able to do it. And we've had a lot of really poor days this month. Ah, man. I have to do it again. This one. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's like too big or something. Make it go. And it's not way off though. I mean, that is kind of what that looks like. I think we need one that has like a little shorter body and a. And that looks. I mean, that does sort of look. When you look at that, it does look a little bit more tapered than we previously had thought. That one almost works, doesn't it? I mean, just like if it was... I was trying to figure out a way where I could actually take an image and then create a mask and put the camera, the walkie-talkie underneath it. But, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look for some more. What do you guys think of that, though? Hey, thanks, Skeeter. Why would you bring a baby monitor? Bing bong. All right, let's see. Walmart walkie talkie. Let's see that one. Oh, that one. Is that square though? Kind of looks like. Yeah, that's definitely a cylinder. Yeah, let me just try to figure it out, Karen. Thanks. That's a walkie. That's from Home Depot. That one actually looks pretty good. Yeah, these ones are kind of shiny. It does, like, I will say this, that there's way more walkie-talkies that have that same sort of antenna shape looking thing than scanners. I will say that. You know, if you type in, like, let's see, Walmart police scanner. You know, the antennas are always longer. You know, some look kind of, you know, similar-ish, you know, but the bases are so long, you know. So it does have more of a feeling like it's a walkie-talkie. Like if I had to pick one, if I was leaning towards one or the other, I'd say that it was more likely a walkie-talkie if it's either one of those items altogether. It seems like a lot of people in here don't even know. No, they didn't. You guys, it's not a baby monitor, okay? Come on, you guys. And if it is, it's pure luck. There's no logic to it, okay? Just think about it a little bit, you know, in your own mind. A baby monitor. Yeah, so they went, let's try to make a baby monitor work. So what we'll do is we'll just keep saying, well, what about this and what about that? Well, it's just, I think it's useless to, you know, and watch, it'll cut to the next scene. Wow, he used a baby monitor when he broke in on another time. I'm just saying, let's try to be a little bit more discerning. We don't do ancient aliens here. What? Okay, wait a minute. Is it possible that the person put a baby monitor in there? And if that's true, is it then possible that what he has in his pocket is a PX9 3000 antenna for the baby monitor? Okay, and if that's possible, could we then track down anybody that purchased one of these monitors? And if that's true too, then maybe we can... The shape is pretty easy to make out. That's a cylinder, black cylinder coming out of the pocket. The shape of what's in the pocket, you know, underneath that isn't. I mean, this is very simple to make this out. I mean, I don't know if it's just me or what, but, you know, doing 3D for a long time, I can tell you that that's a cylindrical shape object right there. Or at least it looks cylindrical. I mean, I'll tell you, the one that looks better cylindrical, like right there. See that? The shine on that? You're only getting that on a cylinder. Thank you, 6 Kids UK. Very kind, very kind. So what makes people want to even entertain a baby monitor? Can I ask that? I'm just curious. Like, yeah, so I think it really could be shorter than I was thinking it was. I mean, right there, that's kind of long right there in that shot. See, there's the top of it. But then, you know what? The pocket's right there. So the walkie-talkie could just be in, like, right there, you know, inside of that. And we just don't see it. Now, there's other shots where you can almost make out what was in it, the pocket. Let's see. I think when he spins out of here. See, isn't that crazy? That is right there, but we can't see it. Let's try to boost, fix the, make it brighter, I guess. I'll make it as bright as possible and just slightly. Jeez. God, it's just so frustrating. If that was clear, man, look at that. You can almost see in the pocket right there. It's crazy. See how it spins around, and then this right here is the opening of that pocket. All right, guys, we need a challenge going. We're just struggling again. So if anybody can do a challenge, that would be great. Yeah. No? Another one of these, huh? Let's see. Cheapest Walmart walkie-talkie. It's not one of these because that's not the shape. That's not the one. Thank you, Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, you sent me square walkie-talkie antenna, Karen. I was kind of thought you were going to do something like that. Well, thank you to Janice on Venmo. Thank you. Oh, and then there was also, I thought somebody, yeah, Kathy yesterday sent a Venmo too, so thank you. I missed that. Yeah, you sent me two of them with square antennas. All right, so for those of you who think these 34% are, it's not a walkie-talkie or a scanner, what do you think it is? Yeah, it doesn't. I tried looking up the specs on them when I was on Amazon. You know, that might be a better place to just kind of look around. I tried looking up the length and they didn't say. Let's see. Walkie-talkie. Except Walmart is where I think he may have bought him. I mean, these ones right here could very well be, I don't know, it's hard. That one almost doesn't look cylindrical. But it's Walmart has a bunch of different types, and they have the cylindrical shape, and they're not very long. Let's see this one. Yeah, that looks, well, I mean, it's got a flat top. Let's see if it's cylindrical shape. See, they're square. I don't know. But I think I could do like a mask where I take the jacket and make a top layer and then put it in there. But then, you know, I'd have to find one that absolutely seemed like the right one to get it to work. But I could take, I mean, if you guys are interested, I could just show you how you do it. So you go like this, right? So go into Photoshop. That's not what I was doing. Copy. And view extras. There, you see it right there. Then copy the same layer. Or actually, another way to do it is just to go like this. Let's see. Draw right in there. Yeah, I think that's about right. Did that not do that? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Jeez, you gotta be kidding me. What the hell? Oh. Yeah, let's see. Gotta flatten that. Alright, now it's in there. Then put that in the middle here. Kind of like you can almost pretend that's the pocket, you see. Oops. And it looks pretty good. I mean, it's not terrible or anything. Yeah, so kind of like that in there, you know, something like that. But then, I guess the problem is then when you unhide the top part, you know, it goes down quite a bit, you know, into there. I don't know. I looked at a whole bunch of them, chicken wing. Imlan said, I bought Tony and I walkie-talkies for Christmas. He lost his already. That poor guy. Maybe he lost it on purpose. You ever think of that? Maybe I should try this a different way. Do the that one. This way we can see it. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the problem with it. It seems like it's too big. Maybe that looks almost right though. Alright, so now let's put on the top. I mean, it almost works, you know. I mean, I guess if it was... It's just hard. It's also at a different angle, right? So we're looking straight on at the walkie-talkie. The camera's looking down a little bit, so you could take length off of the walkie-talkie itself. You know, scrunch it down because you're looking down at it. So it might be something like... not like that. Hold on. No, that's not the button. I could shift. There you go. So be kind of more like that, you know. And then maybe it would fit in there. Yeah, but then the antenna's shorter, so I don't know. You know, but maybe it's a black walkie-talkie, and that's what, you know, although, you know, in this case, you see the whole thing. It just doesn't, it's hard to make something work there. If you told me if I had the exact kind, I would be able to make it fit, because it would. That's it, you know. All right, guys, who's going to do a challenge for me tonight in here? We need to try to get the ball rolling here. We're struggling mightily. We are currently only at 1/4 of the nightly goal, so if you guys have the ability to, we've crawled back from the depths of despair 2 nights in a row, making up for partial day or a half of a day of another day. But we need to keep on trucking here. So, I don't know. I would kind of lean towards it being, it's either a walkie-talkie or something else. You know, whatever the other something else is. And if it's walkie-talkie, then, you know, it just changes things up, meaning somebody else is likely there. I don't know if there's any scanners that look, police scanners that look like that, and that would fit in that pocket. They almost all have longer bodies and things like that. Walkie-talkies can be pretty short in there. Let's see if you guys can help the channel tonight, other than the same people who show up all the time and are supporting the channel. Is there any chance you guys can do that? That would be great. A taser. Jesus, man. Where do these people come from? Come on, Joel. A taser? What are you talking about? Maybe it's a miniature cattle prod. Let's see. How about maybe... I was just thinking maybe it's a miniature flashlight, like one that when he gets into the house he just pulls out. You know, maybe it would be something like that. I don't know how big they are, but you know, it is what it is. Well, that's why I already played that one. Kimmy Whiteside just sent me the exact same thing that I played at the beginning of the show. I said, let's see, was it this one? I can't remember. Yeah, this, right here. I played this at the beginning. And then she's just sent me this. What about that? That's hilarious. Yeah, I already did that one. I thought it was an interesting device, but it doesn't work. The antenna's too long. Look at that. The antenna's way too long on that. It was kind of an interesting thing, though, what it does. It detects cameras. It's an anti-spy device. So it's sort of interesting, but the antenna's too long. And it's too big. I've seen images of it. So does anybody hear what I'm saying about trying to get us going on get a challenge going, or? Mm-hmm. Yeah, flashlights usually have like a grip on them. You know, they're not smooth or anything. This thing's smooth all the way down. Plus, I don't know. I don't think you put a flashlight right there like that, just sort of dangling around. He has an interlock in his pocket because he has a... What? What do you mean an interlock on his pocket? I don't know. I wonder what this is right there. Is that just like a tag of some sort? All right. The other things I was looking at were the holster. Yeah, like right there. I think this portion right there is supposed to go up and strap the gun in. This portion right there. So he's literally got it ready to go. And the ones that I found that look similar are like ones like this. You see? You know, and that strap. Imagine the strap being over here that you have to then bring back up. Now right there might be something sort of like the buckle portion right here. And then on the other side is a belt, and that it seems like exactly what he's got going on. But I don't know what this is. This little, it might be part of the zipper. Like maybe that's this, and then curving, and then you would have to have like the belt through this side right there. I'm just thinking there might be a different color version of it, but I think it's similar. You know, I've got a few different ones in here. Like, that's that. I don't think this is the one, though. Doesn't look right on. If you go to the, let's see. I think both. This one happens to have both sides has a belt thing on it. But like this one here is from Walmart, and this one looks like, I think, feels like it's exactly the same one. Just a different color. Like imagine flipping that over like this. I just think it's almost, just like this one. There's no opening at the end. It's got the shape. It's so very similar to that one, anyways. And then here's another really good one. Also at Walmart. This one I think was the best one. See how it's like that nice curve there, and that's what this has. And that portion right there rotates. So that's what you could have right there as you flip down the sort of the gun locker, and then you have to bring it back up. That's what this is right here. I think it's just rotated down in this position so the gun's ready to take out. So I think this one right here looks almost exactly the same. $9.97, Strategy brand. And, he just has a different color. Or it could be that there's a reflective value on this that on those cameras make it look different. And that happens on those night vision cameras. But I think it's something just like this. Now, one thing I was wondering about, though, on this one is there a zipper? I don't think they make them. I don't know. It seems like it'd be stupid to make one with a zipper. Like, you don't need it. But, I mean, look at that right there. And then just picture this whole thing right there. So right at this little button, rotating around to the left. And then there's probably, you just can't see it because it's just such poor quality. But maybe if you do frame by frame. I mean, I almost feel like I can see that there may be a buckle in this area, like the part that it's rotating on. But I'm almost positive that's what it is. See how it goes around even? And so then this part here would then go up over the gun to keep it in. He's got it off for easy, quick access if he needs it. You know, you wouldn't want to, you know, in the middle of something have to remember, oh my God, I got to take off the strap, and then, you know, he's ready to go there. Yeah, it just said it's $9 and something. Now, how do we know what the holster? Nobody's ever said what brand the holster is out there in the media. I just think everything he got that he's using this day is absolutely not something he ever wore before, and he just used it. The only thing that he had was the gun, and all the rest of it was just sort of this contrived outfit that nobody would recognize him. All right, guys, we're only at 1/4 of the goal tonight. You want me to just give up on that element? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's what I have to try to do every single night, is reach the goals, and this doesn't seem like one of them. Sorry the content was so shitty. I don't know. It's hard to find a walkie-talkie. You need something that's got a... Well, I mean, just looking at the picture here, if you scroll to there, and you see where the bottom is, and you see, like, maybe the unit itself has to barely be longer than the antenna. Yeah, so yeah, it's weird. I just wish I could see every single one of them lined up. You know, like these ones right here, for example. You know, that looks pretty good. See how that nice and except like it seems flatter at the top of it on that one. So it's kind of more like this, you know. This has a 16-mile range, but that seems probably pretty small, I would imagine. $34. But that seems too short, almost, the antenna on that one. And too fat. Yeah. I mean, I like that a little bit if that was a little bit shorter. Except for the too rounded of a top. Yeah, we already showed that 100 times tonight. The Tilesmith. You must have missed it. Yeah, we showed that exact model. You're not talking about the big device, are you? Come on. Jeez. I mean, you're literally not saying it's this one right here, right? The Home Patrol 2? This huge device sitting in his pocket? Now that's Ancient Aliens. That is right up there. It's not. It's not. You're just taking that one frame and extrapolating because there's this thing there. Forget it. Yeah. All right. Any thoughts out there, you guys? No, the tilesmith. Come on, just you know, you seem pretty bright in there. Just use common sense, logic, reason. You know, look at something. You think somebody's going to carry around this huge, you know, massive box in his pocket? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's either the same. We've already gone over it, but yeah, it's either the same size or a little bit longer, the antenna. We've already looked around. There isn't one. I mean, I showed you a sample with the overlay. All right, guys, I feel like I'm just kind of spinning my wheels on this tonight's show, so you want to just make a shorter one, or it's just I'm just blabbing away, and it seems like you guys aren't really interested, unfortunately. Ah, jeez, Cindy, you always pick stuff that you just want to, almost like you're trolling subliminally on the side. You know you don't buy into any of that stuff. No, the antenna is not an inch long. It's not a vape. No. I mean, come on. You think he's going to... I don't know. Really? He brought a vape along? And it's sticking out of his pocket? Yeah. Hey, thanks, Skeeter. Man, wow, look at that. Something out of the blue. Just been dead as a doornail in here tonight. This person bought every single thing that they've got on. They're not a thief. They went in there to abduct Nancy Guthrie. That's what they went there for. Criminals like that, they'll even spend money on stuff. You know, lots of money, because they think they're so cool. But this guy didn't care at all. He just sort of put on the worst outfit he could, you know, whatever he could find, and just, yeah. Bought a balaclava, bought a backpack, they're all cheap, everything. And it's all stuff he never wore before, so why would you spend a lot of money on it? You just buy it, and probably went in and bought it with cash somewhere. I mean, that would be an interesting angle for law enforcement, to just kind of do a broad database search of anybody who bought a balaclava and, you know, that backpack on the same day. You know, I think that would be like in Walmart, you know, see if there's somebody that bought a balaclava and that backpack. That would be actually like a really, those two items together would probably be that person, right? I mean, what are the odds that somebody bought that backpack? That backpack brand is known. A balaclava, maybe not, but you just say balaclava, you know, ski mask and that backpack. And anywhere within 100 miles of there, and they bought it at the same moment in time. Because I don't think somebody would worry about purchasing those together because it seems pretty innocuous. A backpack and a... Seems like you're going to go out in the snow somewhere. Yeah, I've said that, Jason. Yeah, that he would never wear again because he's never worn them before, and obviously you wouldn't wear them again because, you know, you don't want people to go, oh, look, he's wearing what was on the... I mean, it's pretty obvious. Let's see, he probably went to, like, Walmart or something and bought stuff with... I know, I just said that, Timothy Cecil. Yeah. Literally, just said that, like 5 minutes ago. Or 2 minutes ago. Let's see, yes, have the FBI look it up. Who purchased both on the same day? Yeah. Doesn't that make sense? Seems like it. No, it's not a signal jammer. We've ruled that out a long time ago. Yeah, that whole thing was just a big joke. You know, everybody, oh, it's just, you know, it's like if it's a signal jammer, why'd the guy remove the camera, right? You would thought, oh, the jammer, oh, it's going to make the video useless, so I'm going to go in. That's the whole point. I mean, if you're going to buy a signal jammer, well, you wouldn't need to remove the cameras from the house. Yeah, I think the whole signal jammer thing was just sort of this story that people invented early on to make it seem, you know, interesting. Anything's possible, Cindy. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Sully said probably works at Walmart, and Cindy goes, I think that's possible. Wow, that's... Yes, anything's possible. You know what? It's also possible he works at NASA. You know, he could have also worked at Dairy Queen. He could also work at Wendy's. He might even work at a stockbroking firm. He could work over at Rite Aid. He could work at a Jollibee's, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He could work at Burger King. He could work at Burgerville. He could work at Fred Meyer's. He could work at Albertsons. He could work at a car dealership. He could work at Les Schwab Tires. He had a lot of places. You know, it's possible he worked at all of those, right? Yeah. Whew. Wow. Let's see. There's only one person that uses raspberry jam. Huh? Don't know what that means. Yeah, it could be a realtor. It could be in a band, you know. It could be a skier, you know. He could be all that stuff. Hey, the Tilesmith, you know what? I could always tell you were just trolling around. Your comments just got more ludicrous as the day went by. Right. I could tell what you were doing. You were trying to make it seem like you were trying to be reasonable, and then every comment that you made got worse and worse and worse. You virtually had a television set inside of his pocket when it was all said and done. Why don't you call the show Ancient Aliens and give them your name? They'll probably get you on there. That'd be awesome. Hey, thanks, Jim Lon. I worked with the guy at Long John Silver's. Now that we think about it, do you think it's possible he's got a 47-inch television underneath that jacket? I guarantee you that guy was up to no good the whole time. I'm pretty good at sniffing these people out. They just... You notice how they got more and more ludicrous as they went, hoping that I would be, wow, that's so great. Wow, what a great idea. The Perp was hired to abduct Nancy. Well, we don't know if he was hired, but he went there to abduct Nancy Guthrie. And, you know, that's one of the theories, like an abduction. He was hired to do an abduction for ransom that went wrong. Or it was just an abduction for a ransom that went wrong. And that's the psycho theory, you know? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. The whole signal jammer thing, I think, was just sort of cast aside. It's just, they made such a big deal about that early on. And I looked it up earlier today, just to cover all the bases. I looked it up, and signal jammers don't look like that. They look like this. They have multiple, like, let's see, handheld. See that? They've got multiple antennas on them. They're all over the place. See that? They just don't look like that with that single cylindrical shiny thing. What do you think? Now, if you say he had a signal jammer in his backpack, I don't have any way to tell you if he had one or not. Okay, I don't have any way to tell you that there's one in the backpack or not. I'm just saying there isn't one. Yeah, that's not what's sticking out of his pocket. Yeah, he did act. I think he did act alone. What's that have to do with a signal jammer? Yeah, well, come on, Zozo. That's what we've been talking about. The exact same thing that you're talking about. This is what we've been talking about. If he acted alone, then he didn't have a walkie-talkie, and then it was likely a scanner for police so he could see if they were coming or not. Okay? And then today, I thought we'd do an exercise to compare the walkie-talkie and see what looks like it. And then if it turns out it is a walkie-talkie, then he obviously didn't work alone. We've said all of that. Jesus, oh my God. Sandy goes, I was wondering that too. What do you mean? This is what the conversation's about tonight. That's what we're talking about. We're literally talking about is if it's a signal, if it's a, I forget it, man. I don't even, it's just, that's what the whole point of this exercise is, to see if it's a walkie-talkie, then no, he did not work alone. If it's a scanner, which, there's some that look sort of like that too, then he's just using it to monitor police activity, and he's able to act alone. The walkie-talkie, it means he still could have acted alone in terms of going into the house and doing all of that, but then he got a hold of the guy, and the guy pulls up in front of the home, but it also removes the psycho theory. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, well, no, you can see the antenna sticking out, Zozo. Did you miss that part? Yeah. That's what the whole point of this was. I just did a whole overlay thing and everything. It's right there. See that? This thing right here has an antenna sticking out, and it's kind of thick. All right, and then you go over here, and I did this little, is it this one? Yeah, so you take this thing, and you bring it over here, and you put it in, and then go underneath there, and then you have to scale it down. I'm just trying to see if it looks similar. See how, like, right there, that little thing there, you see that? And maybe about that size, and then you can, you rotate it. And then it looks kind of like it's too long. See how it sticks out below? But see, like that. I mean, that's kind of what this thing looks like, right? So if it is a walkie-talkie, then he isn't alone there. If it's a police scanner, then that seems like exactly what you'd want to do. You'd park a car, and then if you set off a motion sensor, you'd stand around sort of in the area a little bit, listening to the scanner. If for lights turned on, or any lights in the house turned on, as I said the other day, they wouldn't, he'd look, and then he'd go, oh, shit, and take off. But, I'm just saying, that's all this exercise was just trying to, I think he's a lone wolf person. However, if it turns out this is more likely, the shape of it, I think, is more likely a walkie-talkie. However, that could be anything, You can see, though, that there's a cylindrical, shiny object right there. And it's similar to that. But whether that's it or not, I don't know. You slide it over and it's right there. Does that make sense to you? We were just doing an exercise on whether or not that was a, if it's a scanner, and I went out and found a bunch of things. If it's a scanner or a walkie-talkie. Well, scanner, you can probably have earbuds in and you can listen to it. Underneath that balaclava. You could have it. That other device that we were showing earlier, the very beginning, that weird little spy device, that thing is pretty crazy because you can turn it way down and you could hear a little beep. You can have it vibrate when it beeps, when it goes by like a camera or something. I mean, you said up there, I thought you thought he acted alone. Why would he need a walkie-talkie device? That's the whole point of this. Just trying to see, is it a walkie-talkie or is it a police scanner? That's what the point of this whole exercise was. Hello? Yeah. I don't know. Jesus. So frustrating. Another show ruined. Let's see. What do we got here? Got to go to the... Yeah. It could be a walkie-talkie. It looks the most like a walkie-talkie than anything else. All right. And if it is, then that means there could be somebody in a vehicle. Could be some other item that I'm not aware of at this point. So 35% said it's not either one of those two things. All right. And we've already gone over the Motorola's and all those other kinds that you're talking about. The only issue I have is that it doesn't have a sort of a flat top on it. And we could try... I mean, this was really good because it has... See up above at the top here? You know how it's flat right there? See, that's exactly what that is. And maybe it's a black one of these instead of green. And then, but then we also don't see this part. Well, it's also a different angle, right? I mean, so it actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. Imagine rotating this to the left, around the vertical axis to the left. That's what you'd be doing. And then this portion here would be back behind the antenna, and it would be straight down. And so if you had a black version of that, it would be better. And it's sort of like more like this. See how it's flat, almost like that? And you'd almost need like a 3D version of this to... Let me see if there's a free one. Hold on. Maybe we can make something But hey, if you're watching the channel, if you could help support the channel, that would be great. Thank you. We are way behind. We're only at a quarter of the goal. You know, it was weird. I went into Sketchfab just now and it already had walkie-talkies loaded up. That's a little strange. Gotta be honest. Almost like it was listening. Oh, look at that one. Walkie-talkie. That's like, that would be like the kind of the ratio that I would be looking for right there. I don't think 2 vehicles at all. Let's see. We got, I think that you're starting to add too many variables and too many chances of being caught when you do that. Yeah, like that one's pretty good. Except that is a Motorola. Not sure. Motorola T400. Let's see what that looks like. Motorola T400. What? Yeah, these are expensive. Motorola, I don't even know if they're in there. Yeah, so I guess, like, I mean, what we could do in here is just by looking at this, you know, and you could rotate it around so it's similar, you know, because it's kind of at an angle like that. I don't think this lets you yaw, but it's kind of like that. Isn't that the same one? I don't know. I mean, it could be something like that. You just can't see the other parts. It's just there's so many brands and just like very low odds. Yeah, but Mercedes Vega was a different scenario. I guess there was kind of that first trial was just happening right now, but I tried to get in the second day and the same link wasn't working. I heard the first day, it was pretty interesting. You know, you actually see Mercedes talking with police when she was being asked questions. All right, anybody out there have the ability to do one of the challenges for us? I mean, hers was different because she was abducted out of an apartment complex. And it was for a whole different reason. You know, this is somebody just abducted her and who knows what the... You know, that My Box of Tapes commented about 20 minutes ago, and there's only been 8 comments since. So that's when I usually just say, tonight wasn't one of those good ones. You know? It's just been too much of a struggle, too many weird comments, just people not paying attention to what we're doing, and just sort of like, it's all over the place. It's unfortunate. Let's see. The Motorola one is rounded. Yeah. I keep reading the same comments over and over again. Does anybody want to watch the press conference? Burn a car out. I don't think it makes any... I think it makes it way worse, Zozo. You have 2 cars on camera driving around. It has a way better chance of getting one of the vehicles identified. It's just, you know, it doesn't make sense to have 2 vehicles in a situation like this. It makes it much harder, and there's no reason for 2 vehicles in this case. There was with Mercedes Vega, because somebody had to... And I would agree with you if her car was missing, but it isn't. The only thing that's missing is Nancy Guthrie, and she's put into a vehicle and driven away. In Mercedes Vega's case, her car was missing. Therefore, the people who abducted her had to get there somehow, and then somebody else drove also, you see? And so that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense in this case, because there's no reason for another vehicle. All right, let's see... Oh, you mean burn, like literally, physically burn it? Yeah. I don't know. I thought you meant like it just stop working or something. The way you wrote that. Let's see, like burn a car out. Would they be switching Nancy from car to... Oh, man. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sorry. In this case, specifically, it seems like they just abducted Nancy and weren't going to get caught. I mean, I guess it's possible that there was 2 vehicles and there was a vehicle somewhere else far away where when they showed up, then they, you know, maybe they burned the vehicle but where was the smoke? Nobody saw anything. You know, they burned the vehicle that she was in to hide evidence or something. I don't know. Just doesn't seem very likely. I think it's an individual that went there. You know, if you can prove to me that's a walkie-talkie, the shape of that thing is closest to a walkie-talkie, then it's going to be somebody who had somebody with them, and they had the vehicle that pulled up in front of the home, and they got into it, and one of them needed to control her, and there's a driver, right? However, if you're by yourself, you would have had to put her in the trunk and drive. Something like that. Where was the smoke from the burned car in the area? We never saw that. All right, I'm going to just try one more shot here, you guys. Can you guys please help support the channel tonight? We're currently only at a quarter of the nightly goal. We've had 0 challenges. Really struggling for no reason. I thought tonight's show was interesting, but it just was amazing. I don't know what the difference is. So if you guys could please help support the channel tonight, I would appreciate it. We've got to keep reaching goals. We got to beat the goals almost every single night to even get back to even. And so this is another setback again. So can you guys please help support the channel so that we can continue moving forward? Thank you. And please don't let it fall on deaf ears. This is really important that we keep making the goals. All right, let's see. I'm just gonna... There was these shootings in Austin. I'm gonna switch topics so you guys don't seem... It's just getting way off track into wild areas. This is the first, at one press conference that was early. It kind of explains everything in them.
On the Austin Police Department Chief Lisa Davis to give you some more details. Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. We are currently investigating 10 shootings that occurred late yesterday and into today. At this time, most of the shootings have occurred in South Austin. Again, no specific motive, and they appear to be random in nature. This investigation is ongoing, and APD asks that you remain vigilant. And if you see something suspicious, please call 911. Do not approach a vehicle. At this point, we know the suspect's vehicles used in this incident have included a black or dark blue Hyundai, a gold Hyundai sedan, a silver Mazda 4-door, and a white Kia Optima, which APD is currently looking for. Suspect description is 2 male Hispanics, both in their late teens, one with medium wavy hair and the other with longer hair. At this time, we can confirm that 4 individuals have been shot. 1 has sustained serious injury, and the other 3 minor injuries. In addition, I want to remind people to not leave their cars unlocked. What we are seeing are these cars are being stolen. Do not leave your keys in the vehicle or your key fobs in the vehicle. Again, please remain vigilant. If you see something suspicious, call 911 immediately. Stay safe.
Yeah, but they didn't take her car, right, Zaza, in that case?
Again, please remain vigilant. If you see something suspicious, call 911 immediately. Stay safe.
Yeah, that was like a gang kid. We covered it on here. That older guy that was killed mistakenly by a gang. Yeah, we did that. All right, so there's that one, and then we have this one here. It has questions and answers. Yeah, somebody that was pretty severely wounded, though. Right, but that's just a whole different scenario. It was a gang, you know, if they were going to torture him and stuff. Nancy isn't the same. She's...
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for being here. I want to start off by first thanking the brave men and women of the Austin Police Department, led by our Chief of Police, Chief Lisa Davis.
I mean, we did a whole show last night. I think you guys would find it interesting if you go watch it, where we, and even the night before, where we plotted out where all the cameras were, etc. It sort of makes it appear that the person's local, lives in the area, and they wouldn't have to drive very far, right? As Bourne was saying up there, you don't have to go very far. So there's really no reason in this case to have multiple vehicles. And there was no cars that were burning or anything like that. So I don't know. I just think it's very low chance. Anything's possible, though, right?
I'm very proud of all of our public safety personnel. Chief Davis recognizing the need for lots of eyes on this incident, not knowing what we were dealing with, needing professionalism, activated a command center to be part of our experience here today. So our fire, EMS, emergency management, the counter assault strike team, all
2 vehicles to confuse cameras. Give me a break. God, you guys.
All of those organizations were together as part of a command center today. And
that gives 2 more vehicles, 2 cameras more, 1 extra vehicle to be seen on camera. So, of course, if another vehicle gets seen on camera somewhere else and they identify it, they'll go question that person, and then it would lead back to the driver of the other vehicle. It just, logistically, it doesn't make any sense.
Get into the details of what's going on, I want to take a minute to recognize that, because when we're
Yeah, I just explained that to him, Zozo. I said it was, they got the wrong guy.
talking about keeping Austinites safe, having those professionals together, I will tell you, it is wonderful to watch, even under these circumstances, because you see professionalism and deep caring for making sure that our city is safe when they're together. There are no silos. It is one team, and so I am very thankful for these public safety professionals. I have been in contact with a number of.
I'm just going to move it to her.
I want to start by saying that our hearts are certainly with the victims of this and the families of those involved in this senseless violence. I want to share some preliminary information with you, but also want you to understand how complex the
Hey, wow, thanks, Cheryl Bullock. Why don't you guys pretend that that was a challenge and match her? That would be awesome. Thank you.
this whole situation was, and how this spanned from yesterday about 3:45 till today. So regarding those shootings, at this point we have two suspects in custody. We have a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old in custody. The 17.
I mean, the family that they sent the video to must have been pretty happy, Zozo. Like, wow, they didn't. It's not our guy. And then they found out it's somebody else.
15-year-old has a warrant for a theft of a gun from the same store that the 15-year-old stole a gun from yesterday. So we were first notified of this, that they stole a vehicle from an apartment complex. Later, APD was notified about the theft of the firearm. At that point, we were not aware that these two cases were connected.
How do you steal a firearm from a store, you know? It's like, don't they have that stuff a little bit more secure?
Transpired after that was an estimated of 20 service calls related to these individuals, predominantly in South and East areas of Austin. And so you imagine shots being fired at a firehouse 2 times. They fired at a firehouse and struck a truck into apartment buildings, where officers then had to go door to door, ensuring that everyone inside those homes were safe, and they did that. Resources were immediately called in to assist patrol, and we started to make connections and identify those similarities, and then realized that the series of stolen vehicles were involved. They stole over 4 vehicles during this whole spree. Again, the several challenges in the beginning which made it difficult to connect those calls and how all those came together. This series of events led our officers to utilize all resources available for their investigation, from technology, air support, K9, METTAC, key APD units, DPS, Travis County Sheriff's Office, and Manor PD, and officers again going door to door. From the very beginning, APD and our public safety partners were committed and focused on public safety and protecting the public. Again, I want to thank my partners here with fire and EMS. Couldn't get through these things without them. We'd like to also thank the community for following up on those alert messages. Like the mayor said, it is imperative that people take those messages seriously and they adhere to what those messages state.
Hey, thank you, Phyllis Watson. Hey, and you matched Cheryl Bullock in there. Thank you. We just reached, let's see, about 40% of the goal.
Again, anyone with information to this related to these incidents, please call our aggravated assault unit, 512-974-5177. You can also submit those tips anonymously through Capital Area Crime Stoppers. I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, this is a serious situation, and 2 people have been apprehended. And
I think this is kind of creepy. It almost feels like a terrorist event. You got these people just running around shooting people for no reason. There's no connection. They go to a fire department, a fire station shot up, we're shooting, shot somebody somewhere else, just random over a period of time. That's kind of spooky.
we'll let the justice system at this point, take over. I'll go ahead and turn it over to Chief Rob Luckritz.
Good afternoon. Rob Lukrich, Chief of Austin Travis County EMS. Again, our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone that was involved in this incident. Today, beginning slightly before 9 a.m., Austin Travis County EMS responded alongside our public safety partners at the Austin Fire Department and the Austin Police Department to 4 different shootings across the city in various locations throughout the day. Of those 4 patients that we treated, 3 sustained non-life-threatening injuries, and 1 sustained critical injuries and was treated with whole blood on the scene before being transported to a local trauma center.
Wow.
All 4 victims were transported to local trauma centers. In response, Austin Travis County EMS worked with our public safety partners to step up our CASMED program and embed additional paramedics with the Austin Police Department, as well as our tactical paramedics to assist in the operations throughout the day with the Austin Police Department. I just again want to highlight what was mentioned earlier. This truly is an example of how all of our public safety here in the city of Austin come together. The partnership between the Austin Police Department, Austin Travis County EMS, and the Austin Fire Department is absolutely unparalleled and is a prime example of why Austin continues to be safe.
Good night, chicken wing.
And again, we're acknowledging all of our staff and team members who worked throughout the day today and were true heroes throughout the response. And with that, I'll turn it back to Mayor Watson.
We're available for questions, so if y'all want to ask questions,
What all
please.
happened?
What all
I
happened?
mean, obviously, there's been multiple shootings.
Yes.
What do we got? I mean.
So we had shootings, robberies, auto robberies, and then we had the shots that took effect on people.
So think how weird this is, you guys. There's something more nefarious going on here. You got these people that went in and they robbed a gun from a gun store. They robbed vehicles from people, and then they just went around shooting people for no reason. What the hell's going on there? That is some crazy shit right there. It's like a pack of psychos, just
People. So
unbelievable.
4 people were shot, total 4 people. We had buildings, apartments that were shot into, 2 fire stations, 2 separate fire stations that were fired into. A fire truck was struck while fire personnel were right behind that truck. We had 2 individuals at this point that were going and robbing cars and then started firing shots at people. We had one pole cam that was up that actually captured one of the shootings in front of a store where 2 people were shot. A woman sitting there, standing there talking to someone, and they drive by and they shoot out their window and
What the hell
striking
is
her.
that? That's
And
crazy.
so a motive, I don't know what a motive is. I don't know what motive would drive anybody to come and drive around senselessly in this city and in multiple parts of the city shooting. And so at this point, Manor PD, Travis County Sheriff's Office, they went toward Manor. They made that traffic stop on that vehicle that we put out, the white Kia, and they made the stop. The subjects got out and ran, and they were apprehended. 2 of the people were apprehended. At this point, there may be a 3rd involved, so that scene is still being handled for public safety measures to ensure that we get that 3rd person. But the 2 that we had on video, the 2 we were looking for, are in custody.
You said may be a 3rd person. Just want to confirm. Is there a 3rd person, or is
There was a 3rd person that the Travis County Sheriff's Office said ran from the car. Now, where this person became involved, we're not sure of that, but we do know the 2 that we were looking for have been apprehended.
And then you mentioned the shooting at the fire stations, a truck being hurt. I mean, coming from a first responder perspective, what does that mean for all of the agencies involved in this when, another first responding unit like Austin Fire gets involved in this manner?
Well, I think I think it touches everybody, and it doesn't matter if it was a car dealership that was struck or it happened to be a fire station or a police station. These are dangerous kids out causing havoc in this city, and they had to be taken into custody, and they were safely.
Do we know if it was one shooter that was doing the shooting and maybe one driving? We've heard that there were multiple different cars. Were these like they just went from car to car stealing?
So I want you to remember talking about the complexity of this, right? And so when that investigation is still continuing, they've just been apprehended, those are the things that will be determined.
Could you speak a little bit on the timing of when it was realized that multiple of these incidents were correlated with each other? Like a timeline, was it around midnight? Was it around like 4 a.m. this morning? Just talk to me about when exactly.
Yeah, so once all those calls came in on Saturday, they stopped for a while. And so I don't know if they at that point decided to go get some sleep, what happened, but then it picked back up at after 8 o'clock this morning when a man walking his dog was struck in the back with gunfire. So that's when, and then that description of that car came up. And so at that point, it's pulling it all back together, of all these things, and the randomness of it. Is all of this, related?
You mentioned 8 a.m. for that, like for the
8:47 this morning.
Got it. And just in terms of like public safety messaging, I mean, just talking about like, I guess, when the thought process behind when it was, when to distribute those messaging. I think I remember the Kiyo alert was like around 11 or so a.m. this morning. Just tell me about between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. what was going on in APDs.
Well, once again, it's still trying to figure out,
Hey, thanks so much there, Chris O'Connell. And thanks, Chris O'Connell. And thank you to Phyllis Watson. And thank you to Cheryl Bullock up there. Appreciate it. We are now at 5% now. Hey, not too bad, not too bad.
trying to figure out what car they've then abandoned, and then they've stolen another car. And so we found one car, and it was abandoned. So at that point, we're calling in our crime scene unit to come take that car and start looking for prints, looking for the cartridges, all of those things inside that car. And then what car did they now in? What car?
Probably youngins maybe.
Are they now in? And so at that point, it's just bringing all of that intel together to move forward with the investigation.
I want to talk a little bit about like license plate readers. I know Austin has taken a stance against for maybe not using them. What LPR has been helpful in this scenario, and I know Maynard uses LPRs. Did they use it, and was that helpful in this scenario as well?
Well, I can tell you, I think that conversation.
Hey, don't worry, you guys. We'll get back. We'll do some more Nancy Guthrie tomorrow. Tonight's topic, everything we were talking about, I was just getting too frustrated. With the whole thing, like crazy stuff, like basically a microwave oven inside in the jacket. That's I'm supposed to. It's hard for me to accept something like that. Yeah, the two Utes. My cousin Vinny, right?
We have the Trust Act, setting guidelines on where we are with our technology, and I think that the conversation is ripe to have. What could that have helped? Yes, it could have helped. And so I think as we move forward and we can start having those conversations around what that Trust Act, those parameters, I think I'm absolutely open to having those conversations.
And from my perspective, when we talk about all.
Well, hold on a second. Like the thing is like lately. Going over the Guthrie case again, I feel like I have a way better, overall understanding of the likeliness of different things. I think it's been pretty cool exercise of going over all these different things and talking about it. I specifically thought that this, really quickly back to here, this whole thing. The last couple days where these little yellow pins are all of the cameras. And if you remember, and law enforcement, now let's just click on this really quick, just so you know what I'm talking about. I think it's right, where the hell's the one where this thing. See, this right here is where law enforcement wanted to have surveillance cameras in, and you can see it's all around where I have these cameras. So we picked the right area. This area over here, I extended it out there, but they're not in there. And that is exactly why remember that surveillance from, it was 2:37 in the morning, and they had that car driving by, and it was really exciting because who the hell else is driving around at that time? And they ruled that car out. And look how it's outside of their perimeter. They know that the vehicle did not go over here, and they know it for whatever reason, and that's why they have this. And then we have Annie's little map of driving, and we actually had this little blue pin here is one of the escape routes, the only one that I had blue because it was the only one that made sense from Nancy's home, and lo and behold, that's exactly where Annie had it on her map. And then all of this route here avoids ever being seen by a camera. And, I thought it was just really kind of interesting. And I think this shows you that the person who did this to Nancy Guthrie knew exactly where all the cameras were. They were probably local and knew how to drive on all the side streets and freely could drive around. It was easy for them. And they might even be and live in the area, and that would explain exactly why the Bluetooth scanner thing that they were using, they used in the immediate area of Nancy Guthrie's house. Isn't that crazy? All right. Anyways, back to this.
And being safe and people feeling safe in Austin, we need to make sure that our law enforcement has the tools that they need so that we can keep people safe. I'm not going to speculate about whether or not you might piece things together.
But you guys, we still haven't had one challenge tonight. The challenges are what really sort of help a lot. Hey, thanks, Skeeters. Like that name.
Sooner.
Like mosquitoes, right?
Things might, in this instance,
Got any
but we
skeeters
certainly
out there?
know that, what I'll say is this, probably having license plate readers would have been helpful under these circumstances.
So apparently there's still one on the loose out there, unless they've caught him since I started the show.
We need to make sure that when we're trying to reach balance and perspective, we take all of that into account.
Thank
So
you.
there was
Chief,
the-
Can we come over here first?
Yep.
Sorry, Chief, what do we know about the third suspect? Any idea of like who we're looking for? Age?
Oh, they got him. They got him an
Any kind of
hour
idea
ago.
of, like, religion? Or they-
We don't.
Hold on a second.
Like I said, Travis County.
All right, so right here, a third suspect in an Austin shooting spree was arrested Sunday night. And this is from 1 hour ago. Let's see what it says. 3 suspects arrested after 2 days. Come on. Don't do that. Let me turn that off. Hit that button. Pause on this side. All right, police have... That's not him right there, is it? Well, thank you. Hey, we gotta hear that. Wait, let me go back. Hold on. Rule going around about me, the crew about something we did, all supposed to do. You might not have heard, or maybe you have, I've heard it was like. You get angry and all that, you can say what you want to spell my name right. Ultimately guilty as rocking a house. That's what the rule was all about. It's me at the damn tell all your friends, and if you don't wait till you see me again, this way I can hear from the horses right now. That's too fast. It was getting too fast. Ugh. Hey, I almost had it though. Almost had it. Oh, God. Why do... Man. Thank you. You got any of those mosquitoes out there? I'm giving my first thanks. Well, so they got him, but it's in this news outlet that isn't... Okay, this is another one. A massive law enforcement search in Manor ended Sunday night. So let's see where Manor is on the map here. Manor, Texas. Right there. Wow, so just in that little tiny area. It must be close to Austin then, right? Yeah, that's Austin, so you're just out here. I'm just going to put a pin in this. Yeah, we got him in Manor. And thank you, Chris O'Connell. Alright, a massive law enforcement search in Manor ended Sunday night after police ended Sunday night after police after an hour. Somebody didn't write that very good. What do we got? What am I looking at? Did I do something wrong? Are the FBI SWAT team 2 mics? You mean miles? I know Mike's the military term. What am I looking at? What happened? Usually look at means I'm supposed to see something. What did the fish say when it swam into a wall? Damn. That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh, look at. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was. I you know what? I didn't have it on the right chat again. There we go. Oh, so we got a 5 for 5 challenge by Chris O'Connell, you guys. So if 5 of you individually give 1 channel membership, she'll send 5 in all by herself. All right, that's the challenge, and that would sort of get us on the road of almost getting to the minimum goal. All right, because of the generosity just recently. So that'd be great, you guys. Thank you. We got a Chris challenge there. And there's one by Skeeter again, as in mosquito.
I'm tired of it.
Let's see. You get it. Skeeters, as in, have you ever bitten by one of those skeeters? There you go. Now, Austin police initially said 2 suspects were in custody, while a third was still not been located as of Sunday night. Investigators said the shootings happened at multiple locations across South Austin and left 4 people hurt. The search in Manor involved nearly 200 officers, including SWAT teams, canines, helicopters. So what's the deal? They don't seem like... No, end hours-long manhunt tied to Austin. That must mean that they... God, why does this one have a paywall on it? Well, it's right to... Oh, okay, let me try something here. Hold on, let me do it again. All right, hold on a second. I might be able to... What the hell? All right. Oh, I think I've had it again. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Word. Hold on a second. This is what's going to have a name in it. Let's see. Let me open that up. Ah, man. I guess it's trying. All right. So let's see. Did I get the story in here? Ah, look at that. 3 suspects arrested after 2 days Austin shooting spree, injures 4. An Austin Police Department SWAT vehicle drives down FM 973 in Manor, Texas, where police are searching for a suspect that fled after a series of shootings. Aaron E. Martinez, Austin, American. Let's see. Police have arrested 3 suspects after a string of vehicle thefts, gun thefts, and 12 shootings. 12 shootings. I mean, let's just start shooting. That's crazy. Hey, you guys, we still need 3 more gifted memberships by other people tonight. We're just trying to get to the challenge by Chris O'Connell. Police have arrested 3 suspects after a string of vehicle thefts, gun thefts, and 12 shootings throughout Austin on Saturday and Sunday, including at least 2 that occurred at local fire stations. So hold on, Aaron Martinez. Is that the writer of the article? I can't tell what that is. Tempe and Manor police arrested a 3rd suspect in a string of shooting in Austin on Saturday. Article continues below. Add. Okay, let's see. The shelter in place. Law enforcement had been searching for the suspect who fled after Manor police stopped a vehicle following a pursuit. The suspect is described as Hispanic male in his mid to late teens and was last seen. So they're all just teenage kids that went and stole guns and cars and started shooting people. But you guys, these challenges are really important for the channel to reach the goals. So if you guys, we need 3 of you to either gift 1 membership or do a $5 super chat. And then Chris O'Connell said she'd do 5 memberships. So 5 people will be gifted memberships too. The message said the alert had been sent at the request of the Travis County Office Emergency All right, so they, yeah, I remember I saw that earlier. An officer made a U, so they actually put out an APB on a vehicle, and then one of the officers in Manor, Texas, saw the vehicle, did a U-turn, and then a chase started, and then they pulled over into a field, and 3 of them got out and ran, and they caught 2 of them. I think we need 3 more. Right? I think we need, because it's just you and Skeeters. So we need 3 more gifted memberships, you guys. Ah, boy. Remember how before people would just be like, yeah, let's do it, man. And now it's just... brutal. All right, let's see. Let me go back to this.
County Sheriff's Office, once they stopped that car, 3 people ran from the car, similar young Hispanic males.
Lucy did a coffee. Okay, 3 of them. Okay, 2 more then.
So at this point, we don't know what that third subject's involvement was. We do know that the information we had, the videos that we had, we have those 2 subjects in custody.
So the individual that
Come on,
was
Cheryl, you've been
severely
too kind
injured
tonight.
and was transported and was in surgery.
Thank you, Cheryl.
I was shown an image from his front porch, a very bloody image. But then other neighbors said, no, the shooting happened over at the park, just right across the way. Do we know if he was shot one place and maybe transported himself or to his house, or do we know anything about that?
I have the address on Ballydawn, is where that shooting took place.
Could you real quick, for the 10 different, it was 10, right? For the 10 different incidents, could you just tell the locations for each one real quick so we have just knowledge on that?
Anna, do we want to give this paper to them?
Wait, we can share that information, but it might be maybe tomorrow or later this afternoon that we give.
Yeah, let's wait on that. We've got it all. There were 12 different incidents as far as where shots were fired. So we'll give that information to you all, but 12 separate incidents.
Can you tell, the type of places, like you said, fire?
Yeah, we know a fire station, an apartment building, a couple apartment buildings, some homes that were shot along the way. I believe as they were shooting at the fire station, they kind of, started shooting before they even got to the fire station, hitting a couple of homes. And again, those officers were doing their due diligence and going door to door, ensuring that no one was struck inside those homes.
Given
All
the
right, guys, we have
complex-
one final question.
Sure.
Please.
Given the complexity and the randomness of the spree of shootings, what do you make of APD's response time? And do you believe that this was quickly resolved for police, given all that went into this?
And what do you want the public to know now?
Well, do I think that absolutely the police department did a fantastic job of one, connecting these. You have shots fired, you have vehicles that are being stolen.
All right, guys, we need somebody out there, one person, to gift 1 membership so we can reach the goal, the challenge that was set up by Chris O'Connell.
And you have people that are actually struck beginning this morning. And so piecing all of that together, again, was complex, but it was done. And it was done with the technology that we do have, right? And so when you think about cameras, could that have...
And then, so Chris O'Connell did the 1 because we couldn't get anybody else to do 1. Man, that's amazing. But thank you. Wow.
Helped? Yes, it absolutely could have. But we got these 2 individuals, and we took them into custody.
Chris O'Connell reached her own challenge and then did the 5 that she promised. And welcome all the new members out there. Very cool.
Manor PD and the Travis County Sheriff's Office took them into custody safely. They're not injured. And so I think that's a success. But unfortunately, we have 4 people that were struck by gunfire. And we have 1 that's...
Yeah, there was all this scanner audio that that's all they talked about. It was actually kind of interesting. I was listening to it at the time. Probably better just to go to the I have it set up where it's easier. Let's see. These are from the 16th and the 17th. All right. I see how that works. I think it's really just the ones on the 17th. Yeah, let's see. They're just all day just talking about that. Just a second. Does that work if I just drag that in there? They're putting them all in a row. I think that works, so. See that? I just loaded them all up into here. But we could do, let's see. Oh, that's playback speed. I didn't want to mess with that. Alright, let's see. What's this one? So I can take that, put that there. 1512. Oh yeah, I can just go like this. And then maybe that's a lot of hours, but look how, see how dense that is right in there? Like that's all that is. It's crazy. There's back and forth. And I think it started up again later, but like right in here. And let's see. So I take that and I do. We don't have to listen to the whole thing. I just want to give you guys an idea of it. Hey, thanks again there, Chris O'Connell, and everybody who helped out there. All right, getting rid of the silence. And it should reduce some of this stuff dramatically, but look how dense that is anyway. So that's not going to be, yeah, so those are barely, it removed a lot, you know. So it's 3 hours and 15 minutes, and then it's reduced down to less than 2 hours.
Behind that vehicle. For all these things at Suncrest and Ralph Ritchie.
Let me go to here.
APD or city, when you were fine, we got a lot of different SWAT units out here right now. APD 295 to Airborne.
Go ahead, are you on SO Baker?
Together.
Hey Shram, I don't know if you can help with the perimeter, you're normally pretty good at that, so we got a little bit of gap in coverage. So from how that Kia is parked, we need to get a couple more units up the road a little bit more. It's 12 o'clock, there's not really any units back there, everyone's kind of bottlenecking over here at this main intersection south of the vehicle. We need more to push north and to also cover these businesses that are here at that gas station and then that yellow and blue building.
Hey, Bender, where's the car so I have a reference point from where I'm starting?
We are flying without maps right now, so give me just 1 second, I'll get you an address. They're going to be right off of that Suncrest Road and Shallow Glen Terrace. Suncrest makes a turn north. There's Ralph Ritchie. So that Suncrest Ralph Ritchie intersection, the southeast side is the wooded area they ran into. We need someone to cover north, all the way up to Tower Road, and then into that neighborhood that's off to the east. So we called out those street names.
Alright, simple. Hey.
What was that again?
I got long sleeve black running southbound on the back tree line. Stay where you're at, stay where you're at. Stop, stop.
Section, the southeast side is the wooded area they ran into. We need someone to cover north, all the way up to Tower Road, and then into that neighborhood that's off to the east, so we called out those street names.
Alright, simple. Hey. I got long sleeve black running southbound on the back tree line. Stay where you're at, stay where you're at. Stop, 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 stop.
Calling 4-4, we have them running southbound in the field, southbound. You're setting out black for black. You guys above us.
Jesus, listen to that.
One running southbound in the field.
East of the car, southeast of the car.
That's probably the wooded area.
Full units closing in, including DPS. We're going to a silver trailer that's just parallel to the road. Alright, he's across. Alright, trooper that's in 8446, I believe. Be coming up towards you. He's in a pasture now. And that truck is, keep going, he's moving towels. All right, guys that are on the east side, he's coming towards you. That white house, he's coming towards you now.
Field.
Still eastbound, David.
All right, they're getting closed in. Just keep what you got.
I have it going.
All right, he's moving to a barn structure, and he's cut back north. Cut back north behind a barn structure, long silver roof gray building. All right, you guys are clear on that building. He should be clear over that building fence now. All right, truck, that's black truck, turn right as soon as you can. That structure right there. Stop, stop, stop. All right, he's right there ducking behind the backside of that building. All right, he's going down prone, and he is going to be compliant. You guys just need to get over that fence north. He's down on the ground. It looks like he's in prone position, hands out to the side.
It's so easy to follow, too.
Just watch the crossfire. Let's let the south team that's at this building take it if they can.
Subject in prone position.
1 Air 1 confirming we just have one subject inside, correct?
6B5, Summit County. We have one of the males in custody right now. Homeowner said the other one ran back towards the car.
One male in custody. Homeowner said the other ran back towards the car.
Other officers that are not hands-on back to their perimeter positions. He's most likely in this tree. We're refiring up our camera and Mavic system now, so let's get everyone back to their perimeter positions.
DPS, this subject's in there hiding in a shed. If K9 wants to come over here, it's on a track.
Pete, are you up near the car?
Of it now. North of the perimeter. Just trying to block it this way.
I'm going to get called out, and I'm going to enter from the street working east. I've got a good south to north breeze, unless you already deployed.
Air 1 to K9, is that you right below us, white truck?
You can't get run out. All right, 10-4. Hey, guys, please get in your cars. I'm not trying to be mean about this, but you're messing up a search area by being outside your car.
APD TAC 92. We need a sit rep of what just happened. Everyone, we can give you a brief sit rep. Okay, so we had eyes on a subject that was running south along the tree lines. We'll give you an address here shortly. He cut across the tree lines, multiple units closed in, and we took one of the subjects in custody at a nearby house.
Sign this right in here. That was the street they mentioned right there.
Monitoring to any available ground trooper. They take it secure. One in the doors of the civilians. Providing correct open.
Confirming K9 is being deployed or requesting it to pull back to perimeter locations. 10.901 racing. Austin, all units. K9 being deployed per 7.901. Return to perimeter locations.
Where are you at?
I'm near where they apprehended him. I'm staying close to this trailer he ran out from. That's where his buddies probably are. Yeah, it's, Nick, you got one more spot, ABD spot QRF over here. Yeah, I'm clear. I just want to be close to these houses so I can try to break into one of them. Hey, Newton and Shill, come back to me. We're at midfield near where you can capture it.
We're clear. We're moving back to you.
Unit 3, David, 10 is square 4.
Okay, me and Zozo are betting on. I'm going to send her a Nefarious hoodie, and then she'll send me $50 if, when it all's said and done, it turns out there's multiple cars at the scene. Now, if a vehicle's transferred, that doesn't count. Like later on, there's a transfer. Because the argument was at the scene, at the Guthrie case, there was 2 vehicles, all right? So, or multiple vehicles. That's what the bet is.
Section, the southeast side.
Hey, Shill, get in your truck and come up on this driveway.
You did too. You did too. You said there was multiple vehicles there. One to throw the police off when it drove by. Remember that? Different camera, so it was like it would throw them off. And then you said one was burned. Come on, don't change it up now. No, I didn't say it. You did too. Yeah, if they took her somewhere else and then transferred, you know, I mean, I can't. I'm not going to argue that one. But the part earlier was were multiple vehicles used at the scene. No, I didn't change it. Remember how a person up there said there was 2 vehicles to throw off the surveillance cameras? Well, that would be right there in the scene, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, then I guess we don't really have a bet then, because I wouldn't be shocked if there was some other. I wasn't, Paulette. You didn't listen to. You missed the conversation. She up there agreed with somebody when they said it was used to throw off surveillance cameras. Okay. Well, if you're, how would another car, if it's not on the scene, throw off a surveillance camera? Hey, thanks so much, Chris O'Connell. All right, hey, guess what? We got to the point. You know what? I will donate 5 if we get another 5 from you guys. And then we'll be just a normal night. All right? So if you guys do 5, I'll donate 5. Here we go. I'm going to play this.
Hey, Shell, get in your truck.
Hey, Paulette, you're wrong, okay? You're wrong. Earlier, she implied it by saying that it was to throw off cameras. So you're incorrect. She did. Oh, you mean did say? Is that what you're saying? I don't know what you're saying. She dis say. I don't know what that means. Is that didn't? Okay, no, you're wrong. All right. Right. Okay. Well, why would you switch in the area so that another vehicle can be identified too? You are wrong, Paulette. Yeah, no, because earlier they said right there. Okay, now you're changing it up yourself, you guys. All right, let me do the. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll still do the bet with you, okay? Regardless, who cares? But she was agreeing when she said that there was a vehicle that, like right there, that's what the person was implying, that there was a vehicle in the neighborhood. And it's going to throw off surveillance. I mean, who cares if it's 10 miles away? Nobody's going to, it doesn't matter. You know? So, I'll still do the bet. Regardless, okay? Yeah, I don't know. It could be. It could be. See, that's the thing. Now it's like, okay, I don't disagree with that part, but earlier, it was totally different than that. You said multiple cars and multiple people, and it was like, okay. You know, in the Mercedes Vega case, they had multiple vehicles because they took Mercedes' car. So obviously, if the person who showed up was driving, and there had to be more than one person, basically, because that person took off with her car, and then another car would have to be driving the car that got him there. And remember, it turned out it was like a damaged vehicle that they purchased just for the hit on her.
I'll make your car. In reference to that, where was it last? APD to TAC 92 to 10 or 20. What's your address? Stand by one on Brent and K9. I'll give it to you.
Officer SWAT 4, 23 the Valero with a medic in UAS, waiting to get instructions where you want us. Let's wait on the record.
Copy. 10-4.
21 to 92. We are on 13610 Ralph Ritchie Road. 13610 Ralph Ritchie Road.
We're clear. 76.
Well, multiple usually is like 3, not 2.
With everyone walking around, it's not going to be best for me to deploy. Can we have everyone up on their cars and try and figure this out?
I copy. Would it be possible to get STD over here if they're available to see if they can maybe lock the one door that keeps staying open?
Well, anyways, if it turns out there's multiple, 2 vehicles, I don't know. It's hard for me to, because the thing is, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, somewhere in the area they just, at a house, they switched out. But I thought you were saying at the scene, like, there's 2 of them and one's parked and one goes one way and the other goes the other way, and it's setting off surveillance cameras and it confuses them. That's kind of what that girl said that you agreed with. Yeah.
I like your car. And that should cover that for that north end.
Push from Ralph Street, work my way south. I see you on the east side. Is that good for you if I do that?
Yeah, you're clearing those woods. I'm just a block. If they come out of that woods, we're going to cut some fences then, but you have the woods.
All right, so
I'm going to come up and just clear this little shed thing where one ran to, just to get it out of the way because it's a chunk in our way.
Kennedy units on this call with us this DP. Additional caller at 13504 Ralph Ritchie Road. Complainant is advising subject may be in a metal building with 2 overhead doors.
If the trigger, go out in that area.
This DP. Additional caller at 13504 Ralph Ritchie Road. Complainant is advising subject may be in a metal building with 2 overhead doors.
If the trigger, go out in that area.
Oh, that's right here.
92 dispatch, can you continue with that last?
And an additional caller at 13504 Ralph Ritchie Road advising that subjects may be in a metal building with 2 overhead doors and straight walls. There are screens at the bottoms of the overhead doors. They're advising if the screens are kicked in, the subjects may be inside.
Everyone, we're going to be 23 on that, and can those folks exit their property?
Did you ask for the subjects to come out of their property?
Yeah, just in case. So these people are supposed to be armed. We have officers that are outside of that property right now. That's the south end of our perimeter. If they could possibly vacate,
I think that'd be
contact
stupid.
those officers and show them exactly what they're seeing. And what
Because here's the thing, it's dumb to have more than one vehicle, because that gives them 2 chances to identify because anybody driving around that time is instantly going to be somebody that they look at. Yeah, and why would you send one out as a dummy to get caught? It'll just lead back to the other person. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Oh well.
Additional caller at 13.
It's a large rectangular metal building. There is propped up metal doors slightly. I don't know if it's supposed to be closed. It's going to be all the way at the south end. It's at the 6 o'clock of a Mainer vehicle with 2 officers walking towards it.
APD RTF1, we'll be at the command post having a tactical. Any units that are not on a perimeter, go to the field where the CCSO Bearcat is for staging.
And everyone, just so everyone's clear, we have about 5 different metal buildings that they could be talking about over here. They all have roll-ups. There's multiple units converging over here now. We have an additional 4 units moving. Everyone else can just hold their perimeter positions, and we're going to work this.
Back one to all the patrol officers, do not move into the field and start clearing these buildings. We're going to send TAC units into these fields.
That's where we're clear. We have a lot of officers staged for a perimeter on the road right behind the building.
Watch out, crossfire. We got units in that field.
By the way, have you guys ever heard better scanner audio than this? I mean, this is like, you literally can just sit there and follow the story. It's crazy. Never seen it. I mean, it's just amazing.
We got units in that field.
Giving warnings, I'm starting from the north, working the tree line south.
Everyone, is that caller still on the line? There's a lot of different metal buildings over here, and any additional information or a meet-up with police on scene would be highly helpful.
Negative. Call taker disconnected.
All right, let's get a call taker or somebody back online with us so they can give us a little bit more description of what we're looking at here.
10-4.
APD SWAT 2. Troopers on the backside of this Bonnet-style shed.
Okay, let's make sure we have a good L-shaped ambush on the backside of this residence as well. We got this restart covered.
y'all need at Kingsley?
Troopers on scene, make sure we're at L.
GCSO, TAC 5 to TAC, APD's TAC 2. Yeah, go ahead. Alright, we're en route to your location with our Bearcat. Yeah, well, we're just holding containment right now, trying to get a handle on making sure we're in the right spot. I've got 2 SWAT officers making contact with the house. I believe it's the complainant, just to verify that they're safe.
And everyone to the officers in Canopy Lane, that's a good area for south containment if you could just remain there. Travis County TAC 1 to APD TAC 1.
K9 5 to K9 1.
Guys?
Okay, just to clarify, did you abandon the woods to go direct to that intel at the house?
Negative, in the woods.
Travis County TAC 1 to APD TAC 1.
As well.
Hey, we're sending the armor over there fully loaded if we end up having to clear these structures. Where is your Bearcat?
TAC 1, our Bearcat's still 76. We're down 130.
Okay, ours will be over in the area of these structures they're talking about, and if you'll come to me, we'll make a plan on how we're going to start dividing it up.
Simple. APD, SWAT 2, stand by for a quick update.
And everyone to the drop team, you get up to 150.
Around multiple barns. We've spoken to the complainant, Reck. Myself and another APD SWAT officer are going to do a 360 around both of these sheds and get an idea of what all we're looking at.
Do we have a CCP or medic unit set up anywhere? 6B 507 County. I'm not sure if that was relayed, but can we see if there's a medic unit or CCP stage and the EMS on standby?
I'll respond. APD TAC 92. Tyson, was that you?
Well, Terry and I are holding on this Charlie door of the structure just to the east of the target structure.
Okay, we're clear.
Can I get any unit? I have the complainant at 13504 Ralph Ritchie wanting to know if he's supposed to shelter or if someone will come get him. He's a 96-year-old male with him that can't move easily.
PCSO TAC 5, have them shelter in place.
10-4.
O'Neill to Tyson, does that door appear to have been forced, or is it just open?
Negative. It's unlocked. That's probably going to be the 96-year-old male. We're going to clear the house, see if we can make contact with him.
10-4. Just the two of you, right?
10-4.
Alright, hold what you got. I'm going to come to you.
APD, TAC 10. SWAT officer debriefed the original complainant. He said if the vents are kicked in, then they're probably inside his shed. Right. This large metal building has a roll-up door that's up about 18 inches, and it has vents on the bottom, little screens. They do not appear to be kicked in.
Air 14, we have two in custody. One's going to be with the trooper, and one's going to be with myself. We're meeting with APD to hand them off.
APD TAC 92. TAC 10 and TAC 11 are doing a 360 break. Everybody hold what you got and come up with your plans until they finish. TAC 1 to the unit that has the subject in custody. We need that subject's name so we can start researching his known associates.
Charlie 404, one of them's going to be Christian Fajardo. The other one's not talking. But Christian said one of the other two are Kevin Espinoza. So we have Christian, possibly Kevin in custody, and then there's still one outstanding.
Therefore, I'm clear. One to office. Can you start working that out, please?
pictures and the team's red. Second subject is going to be one of the ones from the brief. That's not Christian.
9, that return is negative 99.
Entry on this jet.
447. You already sent me the target call.
447, 10-4.
That we're at, but we have no actionable intel to guide us to any one of these structures. However, we do have a good perimeter established along the streets, so continue to hold what you have until we get more actionable intel.
APD RTF-2 to units on scene. Hey, we're going to start clearing out the parking lot of this Bolero. That's going to be our ambulance exchange point. You guys are going to help us clear it out, so if anybody that's not actively on the perimeter, come link up with me over here about mid-block over by the Bolero, and I'll give you the shout.
Travis County TAC 5 to Travis County TAC 1 or TAC 5.
Put bodies on.
TAC 1, TAC 5. Bill for 5. Hey, let me know when you link up with APD TAC 2.
Trav, did you want me to hold it right here?
Hey, did anything happen right there in that minute? Well, you wouldn't believe what just happened. It was like Benny, let's see. They were all running around this Halloween thing that it's just sort of this place that we store Halloween stuff, and they were all running around. So Chris lifted up this thing, and they all went running underneath this little tiny, like, stand. It's hard to even explain, like a plastic stand for something. And they went in there, and then Benny comes running out with a mouse in his mouth, and killed it. Jesus. That's where Benny was, if you were wondering. Jesus, that's unbelievable.
Sorry, we got units in that field. Giving warnings, I'm starting from the north, working the tree line south.
Everyone, is that caller still on the line? There's a lot of different metal buildings over here, and any additional information or a meet up with police on scene would be highly helpful.
Negative.
Did they find the suspect just now with the in the buildings and everything?
Sorry, we got units in that field. Giving warnings, I'm starting from the north, working the tree line south.
Everyone, is that caller still on the line? There's a lot of different metal buildings over here, and any additional information or a meet up with police on scene would be highly helpful.
Negative. Call taker
One,
disconnected.
2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, let's get a call taker or somebody back online with us so they can give us a little bit more description of what we're looking at here.
10-4.
APD SWAT 2. Troopers on the backside of this Bonnet style shed.
Okay, let's make sure we have a good L-safe ambush on the backside of this residence as well. We got this restock covered.
Coliani to Kingsley.
Troopers on scene, make sure we're at L.
GCSO TAC 2, TAC 5 to TAC APD TAC 2. Yeah, go ahead. All right, we're en route to your location with our Bearcat. We're just holding containment right now, trying to get a handle on making sure we're in the right spot. I've got 2 SWAT officers making contact with the house. I believe it's the complainant, just to verify that they're safe.
That's this house right here.
And everyone to the officers in Canopy Lane, that's a good area for south containment if you could just remain there. Travis County TAC 1 to APD TAC 1.
You still watching Jason Bourne out there?
Did you clarify? Did you abandon the woods to go direct to that intel at the house? Negative on the woods.
Travis County TAC 1 to APD TAC 1.
As well.
Hey, we're sending the armor over there fully loaded if we end up having to clear these structures. Where is your Bearcat?
Attack 1, our Bearcat's still 76. We're down 130.
Okay, ours will be over in the area of these structures they're talking about, and if you'll come to me, we'll make a plan on how we're going to start dividing it up.
Simple. APD, SWAT 2, stand by for a quick update.
And everyone to the drop team, you get up to 150.
Around multiple barns, we've spoken to the complainant, Reck. Myself and another APD SWAT officer are going to do a 360 around both of these sheds and get an idea of what all we're looking at.
We have a CCP or medic unit set up anywhere? CCP 507 County. I'm not sure if that was relayed, but can we see if there's a medic unit or CCP stage and get EMS on standby?
No response.
APD TAC 92. Tyson, was that you?
Where Terry and I are holding on this Charlie door of the structure just to the east of target record.
Okay, we're clear.
Can I get any unit? I have the complainant at 13504 Ralph Ritchie wanting to know if he's supposed to shelter or if someone will come get him. He's a 96-year-old male with him that can't move easily.
PCSO 10-5, have them shelter in place.
10-4.
O'Neill to Tyson, does that door appear to have been forced, or is it just open?
Negative. It's unlocked. That's probably going to be the 96-year-old male. We're going to clear the house, see if we can make contact with him.
10-4. Just the two of you, right?
10-4.
Alright, hold what you got. I'm going to come to you.
APD, attack 10. SWAT officer debriefed the original complainant. He said if the vents are kicked in, then they're probably inside his shed. Right. This large metal building has a roll-up door that's up about 18 inches, and it has vents on the bottom, little screens. They do not appear to be kicked in.
Air 14, we have two in custody. One's going to be with the trooper and one's going to be with myself. We're meeting with APD to hand them off.
APD TAC 92. TAC 10 and TAC 11 are doing a 360 break. Everybody hold what you got and come up with your plans until they finish.
So when did they catch the other one?
TAC 1 to the unit that has the subject in custody. We need that subject's name so we can start researching his known associates.
Charlie 404, one of them's going to be Christian Fajardo. The other one's not talking. But Christian said one of the other two are Kevin Espinoza. So we have Christian, possibly Kevin in custody, and then there's still one outstanding.
They didn't catch the other one for a long time.
Therefore, I'm clear. One to office. Can you start working that out, please?
Pictures and the team for Reck. The second subject is going to be one of the ones from the brief. That's not Christian.
9, that return is negative 99.
Entry on this shed.
447. You already sent me the target call.
447, 10-4.
That we're at, but we have no actionable intel to guide us to any one of these structures. However, we do have a good perimeter established along the streets, so continue to hold what you have until we get more actionable intel.
APD RTF 2 to units on scene. Hey, we're going to start clearing out the parking lot of this Bolero. That's going to be our ambulance exchange point. GPS is going to help us clear it out, so if anybody that's not actively on the perimeter, come link up with me over here about mid-block over by the Bolero, and I'll give you the shout.
Travis County TAC 5 to Travis County TAC 1 or TAC 5?
Put bodies on.
TAC 1, TAC 5.
Bill for 5.
Hey, let me know when you link up with APD TAC 2.
Captain, do you want me to hold it right here? Where I have been?
page to the canine side. We are conducting an initial search of Woodline as a secondary dog is a flock in case he runs out. We're going to tackle that problem first, the canine side, until we go to outstanding buildings.
Yeah, we're going to try to hold our perimeter and not contaminate your search area. If you need or see holes in containment, just let us know.
Pack 1 office. APD Cast 4, we are 23 at the Valero. Do you want us to start clearing it out of civilians?
10-4.
Yeah, go ahead and start clearing that out, and we're gonna relocate staging over to that. So that whole parking lot needs to get cleared. We'll keep the we're gonna call it the we're gonna use the west side of it, that west side corridor for the AXT route.
Track 15 to track 92.
Then recovered.
It's coming to you.
Medical services. Anyway, unit dog is in your parking lot right here. On the visa, please, and 40 PS, if any other, if any companies to come through.
Josh, go ahead.
Short check on the west round. 2-4.
Correction, I turned around. North side will be staging and the south side will be the AXP. Correction.
He was okay.
Cleared.
Never.
Mr. 43, Cast 4 is on the perimeter.
Alright.
Okay.
Always has possession of vehicle. Be clear report.
Copy.
Bravo, Lieutenant here, 23 at the Valero as well.
That first subject cut through that fence line, that long silver building is kind of what he ran across. I think there's a pretty good crawl space under there that somebody could get into and hide as well. He also has some cows just on the other side of the fence deal.
I'm gonna hit that and keep the fence line going.
Okay, RTF1, which cast unit is the one that's over at the Valero right?
That's Cast 4. I'm about 60 yards across from you here.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, this is our parallel.
Okay, this is at we're at like 54 minutes and 22 seconds. But hold on. I'm going to see what... I think I have the one where... let's see. 2 videos. Working on... Austin shooting. Scanner. Yeah, this one right here. It's a hell of a lot less stuff in it, but this might be where... Just a second. Ah, jeez. I guess this is just by itself then. Let's see what happens. Effects... Special... Truncate silence. Ah. So this might be when they caught the third one. Let's see.
Unit 3, David 42, 3, David 46, clear routes. Party to suspicious person in David 40. 8300 West Ring Road, Building 6 at the Terra Apartments. Caller about there's a male subject seen walking around.
Thank you.
Lieutenant?
Baker 15, can you prepare me for traffic?
Unit Baker 15, guys.
Texas LP, William King, John, 9354. It'll be at the intersection of East Howard Lane and West Branch.
Unit Baker 15, 10-4.
Unit Baker 9 will be out to complain.
Unit responding to Hogeye Road. The caller is back on the line.
Hold on. Yeah, what? This didn't seem like it did anything. effects. Special truncate. Huh. Yeah, I guess it did actually. This might be when they caught the third one.
Responding to Hogeye Road, the caller is back on the line requesting to cancel.
417, 418, are you en route over here?
418, 417's location is 12900 Block Highway 71.
Seabreaker 15, we're going to be relocating to the 7-Eleven at the same intersection.
Yeah, 3 Baker 35, clear code 4.
The last traffic was to 3 Baker 15, I'm still checking.
Unit 5 David 30, clear out on traffic at David 10, 60,300 Block West State Highway 71. 5 3 Baker 45, checking status.
So it's 10-6, we're going to...
Are you having here at the department or on the Green Belt or where exactly?
Transporting one female to the Exxon gas station, 30,000 Block Highway 71.
Unit Roadway 6, clear out on traffic 32.
5 Charlie 48, we're out with fire. We located the tree. We're code 4.
David 30, clear out on traffic 13,000 Block of West State Highway 71.
Anyways, that doesn't seem to be leading anywhere. You guys even hear anymore? Seems like we had one comment in the last 10 minutes. That's where I usually pack it up at that point. Miraculously, almost packed it up on the last one, but we had people show up.
Clear. Where was the second suspect located?
Charlie 44, I'm not entirely sure. I was walking by and one of the troopers located them, I guess, near the building where we got the first one.
Yeah, I'm clear.
Well, where's that?
Is there any DPS on this channel that can advise? DPS there. If you see the creek to the south of these buildings, we called him right next to it at the fence line.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I'm clear. Are you talking about where there's this little drainage, cauldron, a red roof, and that silver metal roof building, and that little creek? 10-4, in between the building and the creek is where we had him thrown out and taken into custody. I'm clear. That was subject number 2. 10-4, he's in all black. Clear. So all black. Both those subjects have been located. We're looking for the black over gray.
That parking lot is also cleared out too.
Man, what creek? What the hell?
4-4, I don't have good service. Can anyone confirm if those pictures came through on the heat test?
And on body cam 1, I'm going to leave probably to the next out ahead of us.
That thing?
O'Neill to Perry. I've got a 3-man team. We're moving to you guys so we can deal with this house.
Well, this is May. This is where it's like in a May.
We're going to come around the Delta side.
Quick. 443, there's a little RV that's on the Delta side. Just keep eyes on.
10-4, he's in all black. Clear. So all black. Both those subjects have been located. We're looking for the black over gray.
That parking lot is also cleared out too. 4-4, I don't have good service. Can anyone confirm if those pictures came through on the heat test?
And on body cam 1, I'm going to leave probably to the next out ahead of us.
I'm going to go back a little bit.
O'Neill to Perry. I've got a 3-man team. We're moving to you. Clear. So all black. I'm clear. Are you talking about where there's this little drainage, cauldron, a red roof, and that silver metal roof building, and that little creek? 10-4, in between the building and the creek is where we had him thrown out and taken into custody. I'm clear. That was subject number 2. 10-4, he's in all black. Clear. So all black. Both those subjects have been located. We're looking for the black over gray.
That parking lot is also cleared out too.
And there's a creek right here.
4-4, I don't have good service. Can anyone confirm if those pictures came through on the heat test?
I don't see any red roof building. I mean,
And on body cam 1, I'm going to leave probably to the next out ahead of us.
oh, maybe over here.
O'Neill to Perry. I've got a 3-man team. We're moving to you guys so we can deal with this house. Clear. We're going to come around the Delta side.
Clear. 443, there's a little RV that's on the delphi side, in CrimeCon.
10-4, he's in all black. Clear, so all black, both those subjects have been located. We're looking for the black over gray.
That parking lot is also cleared out too. 404, I don't have good service. Can anyone confirm if those pictures came through on the heat test?
And 5 to 10 1. I'm going to leapfrog you to this next house ahead of us.
10-4. O'Neill to Perry. I've got a 3-man team. We're moving to you guys so we can deal with this house.
Clear.
We're going to come around the Delta side.
That's kind of a red roof, and there's a creek.
Clear.
Not sure what parking lot.
There's a little RV that's on the delphi side, in CrimeCon.
Cannon Judah, Cannon 5. Cannon Judah 5 or 1.
Hey, I go to Air 1.
Yeah, I'm going 23. Come with you, or where do you want me? I got reserved for now.
EMS language 7, clear code 4.
We're code 4.
10-4.
I'm going to be going 23 here in just a couple minutes. I'm trying to find a spot. Right now I'm on Suncrest Road. 10-4, I'll be there in a few minutes. You mean in a 1, capital?
That's right here. That's this road. Which is really close to that house that had
Hey,
the...
I need NOR to come up on APD Crit 1. We're going to take operations to quit run and leave all the perimeter traffic on Baker. We're getting too much cross traffic.
Tech 1, I wasn't clear on that.
All right, we're going to take all operational traffic to APD Crit 1. If you could stay on that, get NOR to go to Travis County Baker. We're going to keep the perimeter control and traffic on that channel.
Clear. I'm clear.
Tech 1, all units on scene. We're going to stay on Baker if you're doing perimeter control or traffic control. All SWAT operators and people making movements to search need to go to APD Crit 1.
Black Chevy. Tow truck's already here.
10-4.
LT4, I'm going to need to return over there if it's clear.
All RTS, all APD RTS, report back to the Valero.
LT4, it's negative, but we're not getting the return. But it's negative 99.
Careful.
Austin TAC 11, Austin TAC 10, our structure is clear.
PPS 8701, do you guys know where the CCP or the command post is set up?
We're clear, we're moving over.
10-4.
Austin 7B901, did you have traffic?
14, we're going to have Travis County, EMS, Travis County Fire, and SO. APD and us, the command post.
Air 1 to unit in 5055 is the APD unit on Tower Road. Are y'all able to get a little bit closer west to this under construction complex?
I'll head over and check it out.
We got a couple of DPS units up here who can assist as well if needed.
DPS for clear. Oh, you have the Bakers, just for 43 again. If you're SWAT or TAC or anything moving around, you need to be on TAC, correction, Crit 1. Again, Crit 1. Any other units that are working this call, you should be blocking roadways. You can stay on Bakers. For 43, there was a call that just came in from 973 and Johnson Road stating 15 minutes ago there was a black male subject, silver tank top, black shorts, that was running with a bag in his hand. 35 is advising he was a 20-year-old black male, but was sweating heavily as if he was been running for a long time. Again, this is a 15-minute time delay, so just be on the lookout for the subject.
Can you go with that 20 one more time, please?
973 and Johnson. 973 and Johnson. Again, we got this call. It's been holding about 10 minutes, and he said about 15 minutes ago is when it occurred, so probably right around the same time as that bill up.
Clear.
Unit 3, David 10, clear out. Priority 2, suspicious person in David 10, 4908 Turquesa Drive. Caller.
Hello. We got a joke, all right? It's, I don't trust trains. Man, say trust trains really fast 3 times. Trust trains, you start going weird. I don't trust trains. They all have locomotives. You get it? Loco, as in Spanish for...
I'm clear. Are you talking about where there's this little drainage cauldron, a red roof, and that silver metal roof building, and that little creek? 10-4, in between the building and the creek is where we had him thrown out and taken into custody. I'm clear. That was subject number 2. 10-4, he's in all black. Clear. So all black. Both those subjects have been located. We're looking for the black over gray.
Oh, you have the Bakers, just for 43 again. If you're SWAT or TAC or anything moving around, you need to be on TAC, correction, crit 1. Again, crit 1. Any other units that are working this call, you should be blocking roadways. You can stay on Bakers. For 43, there was a call that just came in from 973 and Johnson Road stating 15 minutes ago there was a black male subject, silver tank top, black shorts, that was running with a bag in his hand. 35 is advising he was a 20-year-old black male, but was sweating heavily as if he was been running for a long time. Again, this is a 15-minute time delay, so just be on the lookout for the subject.
Can you go with that 20 one more time, please?
Yeah, he was exercising.
973 and Johnson. 973 and Johnson. Again, we got this call. It's been holding about 10 minutes, and he said about 15 minutes ago is when it occurred, so probably right around the same time as that bill up.
Clear.
Unit 3, David 10, clear out. Priority 2, suspicious person in David 10, 4908 Turquesa Drive. Caller advised, this is a newly built home. Advised the subject got out of a gray Toyota Tundra truck and entered the residence. Advised no one lives at the residence yet.
ABDL perimeter channel. We addressed this call 11918 Ring Drive. Complaint advising a female circling the parking lot, possibly looking for somebody to pick up.
We've been looking at it. The issue is there was about a 30-minute time delay, but I believe that that is clear and we're advising units.
Is that location inside our perimeter?
Okay, let me check.
It is not. It is outside of the perimeter north, approximately 1.5 miles.
A white car driving around looking for someone. Seems suspicious. Denim jacket, leggings, changed her clothes from a blue jumpsuit. Call 11918 Ring Drive. Complaint advising a Cast 1 on perimeter channel. We addressed this call 11918. Cast 1 on perimeter channel. We addressed this call 11918 Ring Drive. Complaint advising a female circling the parking lot, possibly looking for somebody to pick up.
We've been looking at it. The issue is there was about a 30-minute time delay, but I believe that that is clear and we're advising units.
Is that location inside our perimeter?
Okay, let me check.
It is not. It is outside of the perimeter north, approximately 1.5 miles.
A white car driving around looking for someone. Seems suspicious. Denim jacket, leggings, changed her clothes from a blue jumpsuit to a blue jumpsuit and then came back on scene. Keep an eye out for her.
TAC 1 back just for...
Cast 1 on perimeter channel. We addressed this call 11918 Ring Drive. Complaint advising a female circling the parking lot, possibly looking for somebody to pick up.
We've been looking at it. The issue is there was about a 30-minute time delay, but I believe that that is clear and we're advising units.
Is that location inside our perimeter?
Let me check.
It is not. It is outside of the perimeter north of approximately.
What are they saying? What's that address they're saying there? That seems kind of interesting. It's, I got the 11918, but what's the street name? Here, do it again. Listen.
Cats 1 on perimeter channel. We addressed this call 11918 Ring Drive, complaining about seeing a female circling the parking lot, possibly looking for some.
What is that? Rima or I don't know. Hello? All right, guys, I'm going to get going here. So thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. I take off. When we get to this point where I can't even get somebody to... yeah, I tried. God, my voice just went nuts. Ring Drive. And there is a Ring Drive, but it's south. So doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's down here. They said it was north. I mean, it's close. Well, I mean, there's Manor, Texas, but it's south of the area they had there. See?
Cats 1 driving around looking for someone. Seems suspicious. Denim jacket, leggings, changed her clothes from a blue jumpsuit to a blue jumpsuit, and then came back on scene. Keep an eye out for her.
TAC 1, back to 443. We just added that their white passenger car is going to have a Texas LP of Victor Paul Henry 7616. Victor Paul Henry 7616. The female's still in the parking lot with all the doors open. Last update on her description, I believe, was a denim jacket and leggings. She did change and then changed back. Black female.
And what's the location of that vehicle?
Oh, you're going to bed? Chris O'Connell? You don't want to listen to the clearest scanner audio you've ever heard in your life? What state do you live in? I think I've sent you something before, but I don't remember. I'm not a stalker, so I don't keep everything. I mean, there's only 100 and something people watching, and everybody is sort of like, I think you're falling asleep. It's kind of late. But hey, thanks, Chris O'Connell, for your challenges and matching them and everything. Appreciate it. She's probably one of those types that when you hang up, you just go, okay, bye. I've known of people like that.
Driving around looking for someone. Go get that. I'm in a white Forerunner.
Oh, yeah? Oh. Well, thank you very much for helping out tonight, again. You and Phyllis and, let's see, it was, hold on, the last one. Phyllis and Cheryl Bullock. You guys are helped out quite a bit, so thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Boyce Lane in Maynard.
That's correct. And also, NT units for 43, we're getting a disturbance priority 1 at the Holiday Inn. Again, I don't know if this is all going to be related or not, but there's a physical fight in the parking lot, black male and Hispanic male, and then the black female in jumpsuit, which is, I believe, the initial female in question. Hispanic male has an afro black hoodie over orange shirt. Second subject's wearing a gray dress shirt, and the subject came out of a park, unknown where he actually came from. The weapons are unknown and talks at this time that have been seen.
10-4, let's go ahead and send us a couple more units.
Additional units, active starts towards the Holiday Inn, 11918 Ring Drive. 11918 Ring Drive.
Hold on. 260, I can head there. Out of 40, Sam.
AP until 10, Sam.
For 43, they're updating, stating that the female and the male were initially driving around in that vehicle, which I'll get you a 28 here in a minute. They were driving around the parking lot several times, and then they came back like they were looking for someone. That 28 again is going to be Victor Paul Henry, 7616. Victor Paul Henry, 7616. That's going to be, again, it comes back to 2018, white Volkswagen Jetta, which comes back to a 2816 Boys Lane in Manor.
7, RO that vehicle.
Everyone, we probably have a long eye on your Holiday Inn thing. We're going to go check it out as well, just to see if it's related.
Guys are walking on each other tonight.
Everyone, if we have a long eye on the parking lot of Holiday Inn and probably the Jetta.
Everyone unclear.
G402, we got a Trojan going to the area in a white Chevy. Yeah, MT-105. I can see the car. It looks like it's pulling out.
Everyone, we have eyes on y'all, so if y'all make a stop on it, we can...
Yeah. Well, they didn't make the arrest till later. Let's see if there's an update on it. It's kind of interesting just listening to them, how they're searching around and everything. I'm still kind of amazed that Benny caught a mouse. And Clancy's so jealous. You know, he's just, let me back outside. You should see him. He just wants to go outside really bad because he didn't catch one. He's always looking for a mouse. I told you guys that. And he didn't get it. So he's just like, God. Let's see. Okay, 2 hours ago, 3 suspects in custody. Let's see what this one said. I know, I feel bad for him. He went inside the, it's weird, this thing that was lifted up, and they all went under there. Apparently all 4 dogs went running under there. And I bet you what happened, Benny opened his mouth and the mouse just jumped into it. And Clancy's probably the one that forced the mouse to do that. And he's like, oh my God, look what I got. All 3 suspects are in custody Sunday evening after at least 12 shootings across Austin that left 4 people injured, authorities said. Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis identified 2 suspects as a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 17-year-old had an existing warrant for the theft of a firearm from the same store where the 15-year-old had stolen a gun. So, I mean, they both have been able to steal guns from the same store. Davis said both firearms used in the shootings were stolen. They are being taken to... I mean, what do these kids do? Wake up in the morning and go, let's get thrown away in prison for the rest of our lives. A third person ran from the vehicle when Manor Police and Travis County Sheriff's Office deputies stopped the suspect vehicle. That suspect was arrested by Manor Police hours later. Manor Police Chief Ryan Phipps said his officer spotted the suspect, a vehicle traveling in the opposite direction. And it says, Officers pursued the vehicle through Old Town Manor before moving on to the northbound FM 973, where the suspects attempted to cut through a field where the vehicle crashed. All 3 suspects fled on foot. 2 were quickly apprehended, and the third was detained at around 10 p.m. So that's 10 p.m. Let's go look at something really quick. Maybe I can find that. Okay, broadcastify. Listen, top feeds. Texas, Travis County. Let's see. Archive. So it would have been the 17th. And then 10 o'clock. So it must be in this one here, this 9:40 time frame. Let's see what it looks like. Oh yeah, it's pretty dense.
This Country Club. You can go ahead and show me clear.
Hold on, let me just do the same thing. It's so much easier.
Charlie 48 for quick 4. Charlie 48 for quick 4.
Unit 5, Charlie 48, clear code.
41, you said you're going to Highland Lake or Constitution?
Here's Country Club. You can go ahead and show me clear. 2918 North, FM 620, apartment 131 at Villasville Lake on Travis. The car was sent over from the fire department. The caller advised they lost their phone and tracked it to this location. Advised no one is answering the door. It has been downgraded to priority.
Glenn Heather, they just ran the red light. Robert Frank Charles, 9431, white Audi SUV. Other truck, I believe, is going to be a 312 Perlino Way. It's going to be for a subject that rang the doorbell, Baker 45 and 3 Baker 41, en route to Party 2 suspicious person, 8000 block of Tuscany Way. This information from the Austin Police Department stating a complainant saw a subject walking southbound on Tuscany Way with a rifle holding upright. APD is advising heading into our jurisdiction on foot. It's going to be a male, larger build, wearing dark clothing, possibly a backpack. Advised to be walking quickly. Unit 5, Charlie 14, en route to Priority 2 alarm in Charlie 40, 5008 Hartung Lane for the city of Creedmoor. It's going to be across from Country Grocery, Audible, women's restroom door times 2.
Receiver, you seeing him at the pickup truck? No. 417, I'm not getting a 28 return as well, but as in the 28 return is not coming in. And disregard.
It's negative. It does return to the same file, the first vehicle in the same.
County to East Unit, special attention Charlie 20, holding up Priority 2 traffic hazard debris 2753 4564 5252.
Austin 7 Adam 201, Christian Burfett, Kyle, deal status eligible, class Charles expires 11.
30, go ahead.
Mary King David 9514, Expressway, flight, on it.
10-4.
Been calling that vehicle. There's a crash LTS vehicle. Should have front end damage around the driving around the Capitol.
I don't know, I couldn't really hear it in that. But hey, they got them all. They caught all 3. Good news. Pretty crazy scanner audio though. It's almost like you're just right there in a conversation that they're having. I'm just saving that audio out just to have it. My mom came from hip replacement rehab. Oh yeah, you told me about that yesterday. I'm her caregiver. Hey, well, say hello to your mom for us all. All right. Love you too. At least it was like an intentional hip replacement. It's like when people break their hips, that's bad news when they're older, you know. But yeah, sometimes like that hip replacement takes a while, a little bit of time to recover, but usually they're pretty quick these days. It's pretty crazy. Like you're just in and out. You start walking around and, you know. All right, thanks Lisa Valenzuela for the coffee, and then also Janice on a Venmo. And then we have, let's see, we had Cheryl Bullock, Shadna Wise, and then the Tilesmith, and then Shadna Wise again. And then Wild Bill Wassman, and then Skeeters, and then Six Kids, and then Wild Bill Wassman, then Jim Lawn, and then Skeeters, and then Jim Lawn again, and then My Box of Tapes, then Cheryl Bullock gifted 5, then Phyllis Watson gifted 5, and Chris O'Connell gifted 5, then Skeeters, and then we had Chris O'Connell with the avocado dance, and then Skeeters, Phyllis Watson, Cheryl Bullock, Chris O'Connell, and then that was her own challenge again, and then she gifted 5, and then Jim Lawn, and then Chris O'Connell. Then I did a challenge, and then Chris O'Connell did 5, 10, and then Phyllis gifted 5, and then I gifted 5, and there you go. Boom, we made the goal tonight. That's 3 nights in a row. It used to be every night, but 3 nights in a row these days is pretty amazing. Oh, she fell and broke it? Oh. Well, but they're replacing it, so that's good. It's not like you're just trying to heal it. You know, I think that's where it's a problem. But if you're just... she must have broke it in a way where it's easy to replace. Yeah. Thanks all the mods and everything. Appreciate it. Kind of a rough night. There was somebody that came in here that had 2 usernames that were threatening my life, you know, believe it or not. They literally put their username as something like a vigilante should take out Gray, or somebody, you know, so it just kind of put me in a shitty mood for the whole show. But you guys made it better. You guys might not have seen those. You guys must be way behind. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. Yeah, there's idiots. Yeah, Lisa blocked me. Surprised they didn't send in super chats. One did, I think one did, actually. Yeah. Alright, you guys. Thanks very much for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, it wasn't the greatest show in the world, but hey, it was. We were here. Thank you for watching Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube, where we cover true crime using logic, reason, and common sense. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, be safe out there.
Evil can never be dead enough.
And some of you, you make shit up.
All right, see you guys. That's right. United we stand. That's right. With Gray. All right, cool. Thank you.